And we are live, motherfuckers.
We're live with a surprise one today.
Yep. No announcement, although Discord got a little heads up. I didn't even post on the Patreon that we were going to be doing it right now. Although we just got notifications. I just have
Of what?
I'm now live on YouTube.
Oh, dope.
So we're live. It's official. YouTube told me we're live. We're definitely live.
Hell yeah. I'm glad we got that clarification.
Same. So we were walking this morning, doing our cardio, and you were like, want to do a live today? And I'm like, I mean, we can. It's Saturday. I don't know how many views we're going to get because people have a life. And you were like, you know, we sit at home all day on Saturdays. And I'm like, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. So let's run it. We have people like Kylie and who's in the United Kingdom. We have somebody that's in Iceland that's going to be watching today. And the other night we had somebody in Japan. So
that's crazy.
at least they're not waiting until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning to watch our live stream. So
yeah, you're getting a nice little afternoon, evening.
You're welcome. Still a little under the weather.
Yes.
Got a little bit of a cough going on. Hopefully it's not too distracting. We are going to record emails today, but we might as well just run it live. Fuck it. Why not?
I mean, it's still recorded.
That's true. It is recorded. That is a very fancy straw you got there. You are so bougie.
It's my Starbucks straw from my Sunset cup. That's not what they call it. That's just what I named it. And I don't like things touching my teeth because I have very nice teeth and I like preserving them, I suppose. And I just said all that live. We're not recording.
Yep, you did. You said it all that live.
Since we're live, I'm just going to shout out. Oh, I'm dropping things. Shout out real quick. Oh, no. What's the name of her company?
Whose?
Jill.
Oh,
Jill Pills.
I don't know.
I'm using my Virgo star constellation coaster over here, housing my Java monster. So if she's in the chat, now's the opportunity to plug your shit.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So you just want to jump into the email?
Yeah.
All right. So this first one is called Affair Recovery.
Okay. Is this the short one or the long one?
This is the short one.
Okay.
I need help.
Me too. A lot of it. We'll get through this together.
We all will. I need help, and to be honest, I don't even know what kind of help I need. A little backstory, my wife and I have been together for 13 years and married for 6.
Okay.
So that means they were well past the 5-year mark before they got married. Just little pin.
Okay.
Saving that location. We have 2 kids, aged 3 and 5, and I found out about 2 months ago that my wife has been having an affair with someone she met 4 years ago.
As in, like, is currently having the affair, or had the affair 4 years ago, or had it for a year during the 4 years?
I don't know.
I don't either. That's why I'm asking.
I hope that is later divulged because that matters if it's been going on for 4 years.
And it's still going on.
And you caught it 2 weeks ago and it's still actively happening. It's a problem.
I mean, it's a problem anyways. But
right.
yes.
I mean,
now it'd be a whole lot of emotional shit happening.
Yes, that would be, if it was still happening right now, that changes my answers on things.
Right.
If it was something that happened 4 years ago and she ended it after 6 months and she was like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
It's a different scenario. Cheating is cheating. To clarify, that is always a problem. The extent of the problem will determine on whether or not it's salvageable.
Right.
While this was mostly an emotional and attention-seeking affair, she did let it get physical. When I first found out about the situation, it unfolded where she kept lying about everything, and I kept digging and finding more and more until finally I found an email account used to communicate with this guy, and then all hell broke loose. Ever since then, she has been an open book and begged to at least go to counseling and for me to give her a chance to make things right. Were you going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole lot to say, but I'm going to let you continue because you said this was a short email and...
Okay. Are you going to remember?
Maybe.
Let's just hit it.
I'm curious if she's like begging to fix things and like sorry that it happened because she got caught or because she regrets her actions.
Right.
Because there's a fucking difference.
There is a difference.
And if she's just begging and pleading, trying to save her marriage because she doesn't want her man to leave, there's not really remorse there. It's not, I'm sorry that I did you dirty. It's, I'm sorry that you found out.
I'm sorry your feelings were hurt.
Right. Before you continue, for those of you who are familiar with our live streams, AJ is doing family stuff today, and Zeke is moderating.
Oh, hell yeah, Zeke.
Good luck, bitches.
It is a free-for-all right now.
Call him Big Papa Zeke.
I love that. I am requesting a name change in Discord. I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Oh, Jesus.
That was like my theme song for 2014.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I remember that song came out. Old man.
Oh, hell's burst loose. Ever since she's been open book counseling. I believe every word she has told me, but I don't trust her at all. Can you believe without trust?
No. Well, I mean, you can choose to accept that what they're saying is true, but you're still not going to trust them. And
Okay.
knowing that he caught her in her shit and she lied and lied and lied and lied and lied until finally he found all of the dirt and then she came clean. She didn't come clean.
Right.
You found all the dirt and now she can't lie about it anymore because you got fucking proof.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same thing.
Right. I believe every word she has told me, but I don't trust her. If I had no trust with the person I was in a relationship with, that sounds like it's a massive contradiction.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you if I can't trust you.
Right.
I can hear what you're saying, but until your actions prove to me what you were saying, I don't believe you.
Yeah, you can make a choice to accept what somebody's saying, but that doubt will always be there.
Right. Did that make sense, what I just said? Okay. I want people to understand the power behind your words.
Right.
Because if that ever comes up in an argument, well, you said you believe me.
Right. Because
You trusted me.
Right. I'm making a choice to accept what you're saying as facts.
Right. Acceptance versus believing are two different words. I want a thesaurus.
Okay. What's easy?
Hell yeah.
Amazon.com.
I love it.
Hey, speaking of books, we have a book list in the description of this video.
Do we?
It is our recommended reading list, and Zeke is staying on top of updating it as we go.
Dope.
And full disclosure, it is an Amazon affiliate link, so if you buy a book, we get like a percentage of the sale.
We should add those 2 books that we just purchased.
Only one. Well, yeah, we can. Only one of them is on Audible, but yes, we should.
well,
add
I bought
of them.
both.
Did you?
I did.
The other one is short.
Yeah.
The therapist that recommended those books said it's a very short book and it's old, so the terminology is a little outdated, but the structure is still there.
I'll go through and read it first, and like those words, I'll write whatever I need to for you to understand, and I'll read it to you.
Depending on the thickness of that book, that could be a series too.
That could be.
Yeah. Anyways, proceed, ma'am.
Proceeding. Thank you for the permission.
For the what?
Thank you for the permission. Oh, the dryer's going.
Yeah, I heard it too.
The other day when something hit the wall outside and you got up and you went outside real quick, and I was like, that's right. You take care of our shit.
Fucking animals.
I'm fully convinced a bird just flew into our house. Or
Maybe.
flew into the wall.
Maybe. That AC unit that goes into the living room is right on the outside of this window.
Oh, that's true. That's more logical, but I'm going to stick with my comical thought.
Okay.
I mean, it's not really comical. The bird probably got hurt,
It's still pretty funny.
right?
Yeah, I love animals, but they're dumb as fuck sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Same, though. You guys are catching all this shit that we usually cut
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, you got to remember we're live.
I know. We have been to 3 counseling sessions, and it seems to be going pretty good, and she has moved back into the house. She puts effort into me, and I find myself obsessed, but I find myself obsessed with the past. I'm obsessed with trying to find out every detail. I am obsessed with trying to dig up more information to see if she's maybe still trying to communicate with him. Okay, I'm going to pause there because the next sentence takes it into the different direction of a conversation.
Did it say he was going to therapy or she was going to therapy?
They're both going.
Okay.
They're going to couples counseling.
Okay.
When you obsess over details like that, all you're going to do is further hurt yourself.
Yep.
You already know she cheated. You already know that she lied about the cheating until you had that solid proof. finding every little detail after that fact is going to do nothing but make you hate her more.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make this work, all those little details don't matter because at this point you are choosing to try to make this work and you have to forgive her.
Yeah. Subconsciously, there's going to be a lot of damage there. And like, if you found the dirty details of how things played out,
That's
like,
all you're going to think
sexually, you're going to find yourself in that position. And I mean that term literally.
Right.
Looking down going, oh, well, he did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have a whole
Yeah.
lot of problems with all that shit on top of the emotional aspect of all of it.
I lived that.
Yeah.
When I went through and found every little dirty detail of what happened, that's all I could think about during sex. And it ruined it.
Yeah.
That killed our intimacy, yeah.
Wild.
As somebody who wanted to know every little detail like that and found every little detail, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
You don't. They're not going to feel bad about it. They did it. That was a pleasurable moment for them. The only regret they have is that it hurts
They got
you.
caught. Yeah, they got caught.
Yeah.
That's where the regret comes in. If they stop doing it, like if she called it off,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I love my husband.
Right. There's a redeemable asset there,
Right.
like, or aspect. Like she had that moment of infidelity. It happened, and she's like, wait a minute, I really fucked up. Not, it continued for 4 years and was like, fuck. I love you.
Right.
Please don't leave and ruin our lives because I'm super comfortable here. And maybe there's kids involved and I don't want to have to start over. And we've got all these years together. I'm going to stick with the devil I know instead of trying to find the one I don't. So I'm sorry. Boy, that's super fucking convincing, isn't it?
You know, if I were in a situation with somebody, we were together for 13 years, and they had a 3 to 6 month period of emotional cheating, and then they called it off, ended it, blocked the person, one-time instance, never happened again, and we lived the rest of our lives happy, I would never want to know about it.
Yeah.
I would never want to know. If I found out 10 years later about this 3 to 6 month emotional affair, and they proved to me that they are still blocked on every account, they don't have the phone number, there's never been a correspondence after that fact, and over that 10 years I've had access to their phone, I can look, I can see everything, nothing suspicious have ever popped up, I would be more inclined to forgive that instance.
Right. Because you know that it was a regret.
Right.
Yep.
You want to add anything to that thought before I move on?
No, I actually, I just quickly popped into the chat on YouTube just to see where things were going because, it's weird not having AJ tell me to say shit and like,
Right.
it's very weird not having my director of operations operating this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of paranoid, freaking out subconsciously, even though I know everything is fine. Because that one little thing is off on what we've become used to. There's like an anxiety starting to build in me. So I was...
It's a change.
Yeah. I really think that if we're going to start doing this once or twice a week as a live stream, we need to do it maybe while the kids are at school and get Jasmine over here to like operate the stream deck and like do what AJ did when AJ was here because it'll make this a lot more comfortable. Or find somebody else to do it. I don't know. It's just a thought, but... I do want to do this more. I enjoy the live streams because it lets us interact in real time with people, and it's fun. It gives us a new variant of what we do.
It's almost like I want to pick fights with her just to get her to feel as miserable as I do.
Ooh, that eye for an eye mentality.
That revenge mindset.
Yeah.
So at this point, she moved back into the house, so she was gone. You guys were separated. The moment that you guys had the discussion of her moving back in and there was a date set for it, that is the moment that you get over that mindset. You are choosing to try to make it work with this person. You are self-sabotaging at this point. If you can't get over the hurt and you can't get over that pain, you need to let that person go. Because she is trying. She's going to counseling with you. If she's giving you access to her phone, that's another step of progress.
Yeah, I wonder if there's an open phone policy.
There should be.
Fairy
after-
Godfather just got back to me. He's in the chat. My anxiety's instantly gone.
Oh, thank God.
The open phone policy has to happen
It
in that
does.
scenario. And I'm wondering how the couples canceling is going because I don't believe in that.
Right.
How do you realistically pick a couples counselor or a marriage counselor
That has both of your interests.
that even has a successful marriage? And how do you know if they have a successful marriage? Are they just a phony car salesman that makes it look like everything is great? That buys photos that has pictures of them and their brother in it posed to make it look like they're happily married, because you don't fucking know.
Right. When in reality, they've been divorced 3 times. Now they
Right.
just live alone with their cats.
I would be okay with a marriage counselor who's been divorced 3 or 4 times and now has a somewhat functioning relationship.
Yeah. A functioning relationship, definitely.
Because if you can't apply what you know to fix your fucking marriage, you can't tell me shit. What are you gonna tell me not to do things? I already know that, bitch. I'm fucking here. Like,
Right. So what you're saying is we need, for instance, 2 people who do have a set example and show that they practice what they preach and it works.
and can work through their shit in real time.
Huh.
Yeah, wild, crazy thought process that is.
Crazy.
They should start a podcast.
They really should.
I bet it would do really well.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proceed, ma'am.
Okay. I was just going to try to wink at you, but I felt both of my eyes moving and I was like,
Try
no,
it.
we're not
Let's
ready.
do it.
Okay.
Why did you squinch half your face?
Because
what
I have to.
What was the?
Because if I just blink, I can't.
You went cross-eyed.
Shut up, did I? Because if I don't verbalize it, I can't.
Your eyes and your mouth are clearly connected.
They are, yeah. I can also flare my nostrils and move my eyebrows at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're like a marionette puppet? Not a marionette, like a ventriloquist doll?
You can't see my eyebrows under my bangs. I just realized
Yeah.
that. Can you see my bangs
I
moving?
can see your eyelids moving. All right, come on.
Okay.
Stupid human tricks at another time.
It's also like I just keep asking the same questions over and over. I find myself not treating her the way that she still deserves to be treated. She made a huge mistake, but
Wait. Can you read that one more time? He's not treating her the way she deserves to be treated, or he's treating her the way he feels she... I didn't hear that the way you read it.
I
don't
find
think.
myself not treating her the way that she still deserves to be treated.
Okay.
So that can be interpreted multiple ways.
Right. That my brain was like, wait a minute.
That could be, do you mean she needs to be treated like a good woman?
Right.
Like
because that has
treating
to be
her
earned.
right? Right.
You know,
Do you mean being vengeful? Are you talking about having her build that trust back and earn it?
right.
That can be interpreted way too many ways. Elaborations.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Because there might be, but that
Right.
really fucked me up.
You did a really good job making that.
It would have been a lot better if I could breathe through my fucking nose right now. That Mucinex is not kicked in yet.
What I just did was more of like a creaky door.
Yeah, it was.
Your tires were
I
pretty.
got the concept though.
Thank you. I'm like Police Academy light.
No, not really.
No,
No.
like a Walmart brand.
Yes.
Great value.
Great value.
Police Academy.
Great value Police Academy.
Hell yeah.
Hey, I mean it's still there.
I mean, shit, yeah,
It's
I'm-
better than the guy that's not the Police Academy guy.
Better than Circle K.
At 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. No shoes on. Fighting over Newports.
She made a huge mistake, but she's still a human being, and she will be the first person to tell you that. I don't know, bro. A 4-year-long affair is a pretty extensive mistake.
Yeah.
That's a daily choosing to make a mistake.
Right. A mistake is like closing the door on your jacket and driving to work with your jacket flapping and getting to work and realizing that part of your jacket sleeve is covered in road grime because you weren't paying attention. That's a mistake. You making a decision to fuck another person repeatedly over the course of time and hide it and then lie about it and lie more and more and more. That's multiple decisions
Correct.
over and over and over again. That's calculated.
Yeah.
Deception, which is a lot harder than just, a normal lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mistake. She made a decision.
Forgetting
let's
to...
take accountability.
Yeah. A mistake is me forgetting to... You asked me to clean out your shake cup
Right.
so you can make a shake in the morning. And I get sidetracked by a bunch of shit and I forget to wash your cup. And then you're like, I can't have my shake until I wash this cup.
Right.
That's a mistake. I'm sorry, babe.
I can't wait until we get into the apology love languages.
Me too.
Look at you over there peacocking, fucker.
I am. Because I have worked very hard on myself as a human being.
Yeah.
And the relationship we have is built on the work that we've put into not only ourselves, but into each other.
Right.
And I know you don't believe in the soulmate idea, but I truly do feel like you are my soulmate. And the only reason I have you is because I have pulled myself out of those fucking trenches.
Yeah.
And I have put that work into who I am as a human being to attract you into my life.
Yeah.
So I am going to peacock.
Okay. You just do your thing,
I
babe.
fucking landed that. Sitting over there looking like a good-ass tiramisu.
I don't even know what that is. Read the email.
It's an Italian dessert that has coffee in it.
Oh. Dork.
I'm so glad I'm feeling better. I can flirt with you.
Yeah.
And that's flirting, guys. Just call him a dessert and lick. That's it. That's all it takes. How do I flirt with my man after 10 years? Be goofy.
You say something he doesn't understand and you lick him.
Yeah. It works.
Claimed.
I make you happy.
So we have this thing, and by we, I mean I have this thing that I do every time she tries to be cute and like kiss me and be all like, I blow in her mouth.
He does.
Or I'll wait until she's not paying attention. I'll go, bleh. And the other day we did it at the same time.
We did. It was hilarious. I timed it too. I had no idea you were going to do it. So he came up and he kissed me and he backed away and I was like, no, I want another one. And we came in and we just went bleh at the same time. Oh,
Stupid shit. It's funny.
I enjoy you. You make my life better.
The dumb shit's fun. That's what I hear every time. Every time.
Any advice on how I can try to get through the day without every little thing just reminding me of the affair? And then when I do get reminded, I don't even know how to approach her about it. We are both firecrackers whose attitudes and egos can get the best of us at times.
So you lack emotional intelligence.
Correct.
Got it. Emotional discipline. There's nothing wrong with feeling things. Your feelings are an alert system to let you know how you need to respond to a situation. If you feel fear, you should run
Right.
or fight. If you feel anger, it's because there's an outside source giving you information telling you that this is the appropriate response because your brain is not quick enough to figure out what's really making you feel that way. And in that scenario, what's making you feel that way is you're hurt.
Yeah.
You feel betrayed. There's a whole lot of other emotions underneath of there that is being masked by anger. And if you take a second and go, wait a minute, I need to process this moment. You process this moment and then you address your person. What you just did made me relive everything that we've gone through. And I need a minute because it just upset me again. That's normal.
That is normal.
It's not throwing it in your face. I can't believe you did that to me. Fighting all over again. What is that going to resolve? She can't take it back. She can't change what happened. It did. If she's actually going to therapy, you have an open phone policy and she's doing the things necessary to affect change in your life, you don't throw that in her face every chance you get to create drama. If you're hurt, you can address the hurt. That's not a reason to start a fight.
Correct.
You just said this. It reminded me of something I read in the email that I found. I need a moment to just process this, just understand that I was affected by that. I'm obviously still working through the triggers of our issues. Just give me a minute. You don't have to try to make her feel bad. You don't have to call her names. You don't have to scream. You don't have to yell. If you are making a concerted effort to save your marriage and be with this person for the rest of your life, you have to choose how you're going to respond to these situations.
Yeah.
And if you can't get over the fact that she did these things and you believe she's a better person and it was just a mistake, then you don't need to be with her.
Correct.
Because you're going to end up dragging this out and prolonging this entire process for what, a decade, 15 years of just sorrow every time something happens and you two fighting. That's not fair to either one of you. Why would you want to live that way?
It's a good question.
Yep.
You know, I want everybody who watches this video to really take a second and think, if your partner were to cheat on you, if your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife were to cheat on you, and it was a one-time thing, in 10 years, is that something that would still bother you? Would that still be in the back of your mind? Is that something that you would want to throw in their face because you're hurt? If the answer is yes, that is something that would still bother me, in that situation, you have to tell that person, this is something I can't get over.
I just went through a whole cascade of what if scenarios because I put myself where you're just telling everyone to go.
Yeah.
Oh man. There's a lot there. Like
There is
that's
a lot
not just an
there.
easy answer
It's
because
not.
there's so many what ifs. Like if I found out and I was like, you can't talk to him anymore. And you're like, that's my friend. I'm going to talk to him anyways. Then no, I can't get over this because you're putting me dead last.
Yep.
And I'm supposed to be your priority. So no, in that scenario, I wouldn't.
Right. If it was the girls went out, everybody got drunk, one of them had their man come over, and while you're inebriated, you guys fooled around and you woke up and you're like, holy shit, what did I do? And you come clean about it. Would you be able to forgive that person? Because they were honest.
Right.
They told you immediately, and they immediately regretted the decision.
There's going to be a whole lot of stipulations to that, though.
Right.
It's not going to just be like, yeah, I forgive you because you were drunk. Fuck that.
No, I know.
I know.
Yeah.
You're asking the question. I'm putting myself in that position and
Yeah.
like, no, I can't just let that go because it doesn't matter that you were inebriated.
Right.
So in that scenario, like,
No, it's not an immediate get over in that moment.
right. But you're asking for a 10-year plan.
Right. So if the stipulations are in place and I'm meeting every single stipulation,
What are the stipulations?
open phone policy,
Okay. No more going to the
no
bar,
more going out,
no drinking,
no more drinking,
new friends.
new friend
Because
group.
if you've got a friend group that allows that shit to happen, that's giggling and fucking having their social circle while you're
Right.
getting fucking banged in the bedroom, no, I can't abide by that. Like I can't have my
Right.
woman around a group of people that are okay with that shit.
So if every stipulation is met, and say after 6 months, I'm doing everything, and I'm being upfront and honest, and I'm doing whatever you say, I don't go out at night anymore, I have a 10 o'clock curfew, whatever it is. In 6 months,
You said a 10 o'clock curfew.
I did.
That's funny.
In 6 months, if that action is still bothering you and me changing my actions doesn't change how you feel, and if you think in a year it's still going to bother you, I would want to know that.
Yeah. I would be honest in that aspect. In 6 months, I wouldn't throw it in your face.
Right.
I would tell you if something happened that triggered that, and
Mm-hmm.
the trust would absolutely take time to bond. But in that whole scenario, if everything was being adhered to, I do believe that that's something I could get over.
Okay, so I'm going to rephrase it.
I would
then.
fuck that dude up.
Right.
That would be part of my healing process.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd probably catch a charge. I'm okay with that too, but like, that's just me.
Right. So I'm going to rephrase it. With that in mind, stipulations are being met. They're going along with everything you want them to do. They're trying to work on saving the relationship.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, if everything is still being met, would you be able to let go of the hurt and not throw it in their face that they did it?
I would, yes.
Okay.
Because I would be able to tell you,
Right.
this scenario just triggered me. I need a minute. And you are mature enough emotionally to be like, all right, I'm going to go take a bath then.
Right.
And we would just get through that shit. And eventually those things wouldn't trigger me anymore because eventually that trust is a glue that keeps two people together. When that trust is fucked up, the glue is eroding. It's like the 3M tape that's got dirt on the back of it. It's just not sticking anymore.
Right.
Over time, you can clean that dirt off and you can make that 3M tape stick again. You just got, it's going to take some time. And every time I hit that trigger and I process through it and I move past it, it's a little more tacky.
Right.
Eventually, those little triggers aren't going to phase me anymore. We're going to have an amazing life because you did some foul shit and we both worked through it.
So the point is, and me bringing all that up is, if after 6 months you still want to be vengeful
Right.
and you want to hate and you want to be angry and you want to do an eye for an eye, you have to let that person go.
Yeah.
You have to be fully prepared. When you allow somebody back into your life after they've done something foul, you have to practice the forgiveness.
Right.
What are you doing?
Frank here has a very prevalent statement about revenge, and you just triggered that thought in my head. I never thought I'd be the guy that keeps a fucking notebook.
And here you are.
It's your fault.
You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome? It was about commitment. and revenge and grace.
You know, I've put extensive thought into if you were to come to me, not if you've ever, if you would have come to me in a future instance about a cheating scenario.
Yeah.
And I've had thousands of strains of thoughts on what is forgivable to me and what is not. What I would be willing to work past and what I'm not willing to. And in majority of instances, depending on the extent and changed actions and you showing me what you're actively doing to salvage our marriage,
Right.
I would forgive you.
Because the action's there.
Right, because the action's there.
Do you think that because subconscious, I'm not going to keep digging this because it's distracting. Do you think that the subconscious communication that we have with body language, tone, and inflection, because we know that can't lie, that we take actions as a more substantial, like proven, you can trust me, I'm not lying to you, I'm telling you the truth, just based off of the actions alone. So like, I don't know how to word this because it obviously just answers my own question. But with that scenario, like if I'm doing all the things that are all the actions that I'm showing you, even if we're not having in-depth conversations about it, never gets brought up again, I don't have to apologize anymore. I don't have to continue telling you, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. Here's my phone, blah, 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 blah. Just my general actions is going to speed that process up without having to have a lot of in-depth fights and conversations. I don't know how to word that. In my head, the answer is already yes, I know that, but it didn't when I started that train of thought.
So the answer is yes. I don't want in-depth conversations about how sorry you are and you'll never do it again and you care about my feelings and all this bullshit. That means nothing to me if you don't change your actions.
Right.
I would like to hear, I'm sorry I've hurt you. I've recognized that I've hurt you. And going forward, it's not going to be an issue. I don't want to hear about it after that.
I don't either. And I don't want to hear the I'm sorries. I really don't. Like, I appreciate when someone can apologize for something that they did wrong. But I don't want to hear it over and over again. I really don't. Because if you were actually sorry, you wouldn't have done it. Or you would...
My nose is itchy. And I'm not picking my nose, guys. But my septum ring just tickled something in there. And I got to...
Kick your leg and be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was nice. I need hand sanitizer now. I'm going to be right back.
Okay. And here I am all by myself again.
Oh, that itch, man. That was like getting a good scratch on the back.
Leave it. Trust me. Well, while we're sitting here, for those of you who are still watching after she picked her nose, you should hit the like and subscribe and notification bell and all that stuff that YouTubers tell you to do because it drives the algorithm and helps us. AJ did not tell me to say that this normally, but normally this is where he would tell me to say these things. So I'm saying these things in the spirit of AJ. We also have a Patreon channel and a Discord, and I feel like a twat plugging this repeatedly. So can you please hurry?
I am.
Booty.
I held it so there was no accidental back thigh seeing. Okay.
I don't remember what I was talking about before you picked your nose.
I didn't pick my nose.
Before you scratched your septum.
Yes.
At least you got up and washed your hands.
I used hand sanitizer.
I'd have just flicked it. I'm just kidding.
There was nothing there. How are people enjoying the live?
I don't know, because I'm not getting updates like I normally do.
I need feedback.
I don't know how many people are watching. I don't know anything at this point.
I thought...
He said he was here. I'm here. That was 20 minutes ago, and I haven't had any notes.
Okay.
No direction. I'm just...
I don't remember what I was saying either.
It doesn't matter.
Point is, if somebody cheats on you and you take them back, you have to be fully prepared to live and let go.
Right. I remember what I was saying.
Okay, fantastic.
If you're in one of those scenarios where you want to apologize over and over and over again, and it's because you got caught, your apologies, I know your apologies. You may be sincere in that you're sorry, but I don't believe that you're sorry that you did what you did. I believe that you're sorry that you got caught. Mm-hmm. And in that scenario, I don't... Jen just chimed in. There's 196 people watching us. Not bad for a pop-up live with no nothing. We just was
No
like, hey,
notice.
we're going live. So I believe that you're sorry for the action. Sorry for getting caught. And I don't want you to apologize for that. I don't want you to be sorry for getting caught. Just own the fact that you fucking did the shit and be like, you're right, I did it.
Right.
I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to start working on making things better and then doing that. Because I don't believe that it's the same thing. There's no remorse there.
Right.
Your guilt of being caught is not the same thing as your
feeling
guilt of
bad.
hurting me. Mm-hmm. Right. I've got 3 people sending me notifications now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave Dakota my cell phone number last night. So he's keeping me up to date in the chat too. I love that. I really like that dude. I know that that's not really relevant to anything, but he told me that I could shoot him with one of those Burnham pistols and hit him with the paintball thing. He's like, I got a decon kit. We're good.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I instantly was like, fucking adult jackass. Let's go. Was that the end of that email?
That was the end of that one,
okay.
yes.
Because that was supposed to be the short one, and we're 40 minutes in.
Yeah. So, content. You know, while we're doing this, I want to thank everybody who supports us.
Okay.
That's super dope. None of this would be possible if it weren't for you guys watching us. And everybody who shares our content and likes it and distributes it, it helps immensely.
Yep.
The only way that we can keep growing is if you guys do that.
Yeah. People always go, well, why don't you tell us something other than Discord and Patreon? And I'm like, we tell you to share it.
Right.
But people are like, we can't all afford to just give you money. And it's not, we don't want you to just all give us money. It's super dope when you fucking do.
Yeah.
I love it when we get super chats and Patreons. And like, I have little mini tribals from Biodome for you guys who are around my age and are just as dumb as I am who watch that fucking movie. But I do every time we get a Patreon, I dance in my head. Like I'm fucking super stoked that people are supporting us.
Every time we get the notification of a new patron, we go, patron.
Yeah, we do.
Like,
it doesn't
we hype
matter
it
where
up.
we're at.
Yeah.
But we also do that when we're like, look, somebody just shared our shit.
Yeah.
Like whenever we see that on people to put it to their stories on Instagram, or like someone we know will be like, I just saw your shit on Snapchat from somebody in Oregon. Like that's just as meaningful to us as the Patreon, because if 10 people see that and one person goes, damn, that was interesting. Let's see what else they're doing. And that one person sends it to one person that sends it to one person. That's how we grow.
Yep.
The reality of it being just one person, though, is slim because we talk about things that a lot of people relate to. And from what we're told, we articulate it in a way that they vibe with it. It's not just like we're preaching to people. Like we're given scenarios and we're showing them how to communicate. And like it's not just a preachy thing. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know. That shit means a lot. And seeing our shit shared to people, like the first time somebody was like, who lives in Colorado that I know was like, yo, my coworker was watching your shit at their desk. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like, shut the fuck up. No, they weren't.
Yep.
Yeah. They were like, hey, I know that guy. He tattooed me. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's just so dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
wild
so
to me.
crazy.
The
It
internet's
is.
crazy.
It really is. I feel so blessed to have what we do. And I'm glad that we can reach people in a way that they don't feel as condescending.
Yeah. Yep. Episode 18 is pretty condescending.
You're passionate.
Yeah, we can call it that. I was not feeling well and I was a fucking dick.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of really good clips out of it because
Yeah.
I went through and started looking at the timestamps that they gave us last night. And yeah. Yep.
We need timestamps for anybody from the Discord. We need timestamps for the Peaches frustration video too.
Yeah. We got them last night. They were
Oh.
posted. Yeah. I'm almost positive that somebody went through and left them there. Yes, we do need them. If you're in Discord and you've watched the frustration episode, she needs timestamps, and they need to be at least a minute because TikTok won't let you monetize for anything less than a minute. If it's like 55 seconds, that's fine because we have a clip we can add to the end of it. But
Yeah.
you want to get into the next one?
Yes.
The next one's a long one, right?
Yes,
All
this
right.
is a long one.
I'm going to leave you here alone while I blow my nose
Okay.
because I feel like the 5-year-old who's licking the snot off his lip.
Well, then I'm not going to start reading because you're not going to know what's going on. Now I'm just sitting here awkwardly.
Yep. Should show them how you can flare your nostrils.
I don't know if they can see it from there.
That was a joke.
Oh.
I can breathe. It's crazy when that happens. Oxygen is so vital to life.
You said that as a joke, and I took it literal.
Yeah.
I'm sitting over here flaring my nostrils at the camera.
That's funny. Go team. Stupid human tricks. I can wiggle my ears.
I know you
I'm
can.
doing it right now. You just can't tell because of my
It's
giant
so cute.
Princess Leia earmuffs.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock this email.
Okay. This one is titled, Is This Disrespect or Is This Conditioning?
Yep, both.
Hi, Chris and Peaches. I just discovered your podcast on TikTok.
Hey, we're live right now. No pressure, but quit fucking up your reading.
Let's try that again.
It doesn't matter because now you're going to be like, oh, God, don't fuck up. Oh, God, don't fuck up. Condescending cow is watching you.
Talk to me like that.
Talk to you however I want, woman.
Fuck. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love how you make me feel. I hate that it just makes me crumble. All of my facade of being like a bad bitch. Oh, I'm gonna stand up to him. Just down.
That's because it's flirty.
I can't. I'm choking up. My heart's pounding. My back feels weird.
I know why your back feels weird.
Stop it.
Okay. Quit playing around. It's time to be serious. Put your serious face on.
Composure.
Focus.
Composure.
You got this.
I am composing myself. I'm a symphony of a human being. Composure.
Let's go. Wait, before you do that, there's super chats.
Thank God, because I'm not ready.
When AJ said he was here, I jumped to the other chat. We have an early access from Amber. We have a $2 super chat from Jasmine. Says, let's go Zeke. A $4 from Amber Darley. That's just, it looks like a fox blowing its nose. I'm blind as fuck. I can't tell what that is. It's little.
It's almost like you should wear your glasses.
Liz Benedict's $20. Thank you for all you do. You've helped me step out of fight or flight and away from trauma responses. Thank you for making my life and relationship better.
Love that.
And then there was a red box, and I want to read the red box, but of course my fingers don't want to work on the tablet.
What does a red box mean?
It means that it's more than $50.
Oh.
Lorraine, $50. We are having a great time. Bows to the king and queen. Thank you for being true. You guys want to hear something funny? Can I do that real quick? Are you okay
Before
with that?
you do that, thank you guys for the super chats. It's meaningful. It really is. It could be 99 cents. It could be $100. You are contributing to something that's making it possible for us to do this.
You really are, because we were getting close to not wanting to do this anymore. Like not physically being able to. We were getting ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people who say I don't have a lot, but this is what I can give you, that shit means a lot.
It does.
We know what it's like to struggle. And the fact that you guys take something from your living to contribute to this cause means everything. And people who leave $50, $100, $250, y'all are insane.
Blows my mind. Yeah, it really is.
Y'all are insane, and all of it is so fucking appreciated.
Yeah. Lorraine put king and queen in there, and it triggered my thought of the new logo. And I kind of wanted to talk about that because I'm one of those overthinking people.
Yeah.
And I don't do things that's like half-assed.
It's methodical.
And we got Jeff Graham, who's a tattoo artist at Sacred Rights Tattoo in Port Charlotte, Florida, to design our new logo. Dude's a badass artist. For those of you who don't follow him, he's Jeffrey Graham Tattoos on TikTok. All one word, no dots, nothing. He's got 2 accounts. One of them he can't get into. He's trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so follow him. But we have, we did king and queen chess pieces because we're both into chess. It shows that there is a back and forth in a marriage. What?
Before you keep going, to me, it's more symbolism than that. The king is the final decision maker. Like, you are the hierarchy in all of this shit. And I am the queen. I can move wherever the hell I want to, however I need to make sure that whatever we are planning and you are executing is done properly and like I'm on the defense.
Right. Yeah, you're important as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the actual chess game, you really are the most important piece on the board. But we have the king and queen because it's supposed to represent you and I. The colors are supposed to represent the jobs, blue jobs and pink jobs.
The traditional aspect.
The traditional aspect. There's 3 rings on there, which represents the Holy Trinity and the vows of marriage. They're gold rings, like wedding rings, and they're embracing. They're pulling each other in, so it's a protective embrace. They're made of wood and they're worn. When you look at them, they look worn, which means they were hand carved and they have been through a lot of shit because that's why they're worn. And it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
But we're going to unveil that logo soon. Discord got it, and we're going to slowly start changing thing over and having stickers made for the next t-shirt release and all of that shit. But when you guys look at that logo and see it, a lot of you are just going to go, that's kind of cool, and never give it another thought.
The symbolism
But know
behind it.
that every single aspect of that shit was methodically plotted, and like there is a lot of meaning behind that. We had a lot of discussions about that logo before we did it.
The one thing that I really love about it is that they are made of wood.
Yep.
And when it comes to whittling wood, that takes years of practice. And to be really good at it, you got to master that shit. And isn't it like 50,000 hours, 10,000 hours to master something?
It's 10,000 hours to master something to your current ability.
Right.
The idea of mastering something and just being a master doesn't exist to me.
No.
You can always learn more. And like once you master something, you have to master the next aspect. And your growth is going to continue. So the 10,000 hours is more of a platform.
Right.
But it is a constant lifelong thing. And when you look at a 10,000 hours, if you did that just as a 40-hour-a-week job, it takes 5 years to hit that. So if you're doing something like if you're a welder and you're welding 40 hours a week consistently for 5 years, at the end of that 5 years, you're going to be a master welder to your current level of what you can master.
I just wanted to say that the wood aspect definitely does speak to me because it is something that takes practice. And we didn't just land here with our relationship. This is something that we have worked on.
It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work.
And it still takes work.
And it's methodical.
It is.
It's one move after another and trying to figure out how we're going to address the board to get to where we're trying to go. It's all work. And that logo is the second most meaningful logo I've ever created in terms of a business. Obviously, the sacred one was the main, because that will always have a special place in my heart because it was the first successful business I've ever owned. But anyways, I don't want to get too far into that. AJ just said that he lost power in his house and he's shooting blind right now. So that's why one of the messages were coming through.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on before I get going?
No, we can just jump into it.
Okay. The video you posted on March 6th, talking about love, respect, and trust in a relationship hit a mark for me. First off, I want to thank you for speaking on this topic. You're right. I'm sitting here going, don't fuck up. Don't fuck up. You're such a douche.
It's funny, though. And it's more funny now because I was right. It's like I know you.
Why does he know me so well? You're right, though. Like, you know shit I'm thinking before I say it.
Most of the time. Yep.
I went on a deep dive into your page and found that a lot of the things you spoke about struck a chord with me, so here it goes. I met my husband when we were in high school. We broke up multiple times then because I felt unseen, and he was possessive, you bitch. You did this to me.
You know, this is the way we always read these emails. I just cut them out.
He was...
You bitch.
He was possessive of... It's like been a fishbowl all over again.
He was the exorcist of me.
He was possessive.
Good job. Go team.
Of me. Thank you for the recognition. With both boy and girlfriends. But I loved him so much that I couldn't let go. So I'm just assuming, I skimmed through this and a couple of parts stood out to me. I'm assuming that is still how it is now. You love him and you can't let him go. That is my hypothesis.
Okay. How can you say that but couldn't say possessive?
I don't know.
Okay. Just curious.
How come I can say onomatopoeia but not fillet? Filet. I really just said fillet.
You did. Yep, you did.
Oh, man. I graduated high school and moved 45 minutes away with my dad, which in Cali is really an hour away.
Ooh, that 15 minutes.
It's kind of like that driving to
It's like
Sarasota.
just about anywhere.
Yeah. He never came to visit me. I was the only one who went to see him. I also worked 2 jobs and went to school at the time, but I still made time to see him.
At 17 years old, went to school and worked 2 jobs.
Well, 17 wasn't said. This was just high school.
Oh, okay.
I graduated high school and then started working 2 jobs, so 18 or 19.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said 17 at some point in there.
No.
I'm hearing shit.
I broke it off after 2 months because it just became too much. In August of that year, we found out we were pregnant with our first son. We got married the week before he was born, and from then we've had 3 beautiful baby boys and moved to another state. I have never felt respected by him. So, when somebody says that they feel unseen, I correlate that to they do not feel respected or they don't feel appreciated.
Right.
So this was always an issue. This was an issue you chose to overlook and continued in the relationship. And now, because there's added stress of being a family, on top of trying to make it work and have jobs and live life, it is becoming a more prevalent issue. It's not something you're willing to overlook anymore. And now you have 3 children with this person.
Yep.
You guys really have to, in the thick of things, remove the love aspect. If love wasn't there, you wouldn't let someone treat you like this.
Right.
You wouldn't let a stranger treat you like this. I bet half of you wouldn't even let your family treat you like this.
Right.
You have to take off the glasses.
I would say half of them would let their family treat them like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're told that you're supposed to forgive them because they're family. You're supposed to just accept your drunk uncle who makes inappropriate comments and touches you in your lower back when you're 12 years old, all inappropriately because it's your uncle.
I would put his face through a wall if I caught that shit.
I know you. We hear it. We get at least 1 email a day where somebody's got, but their family.
But their family, nothing. Disrespect is disrespect.
Yep, I agree with that.
No free passes here. I'm coming to recognize that a lot of people in my life are recognizing me as a bitch. It's because I'm not a doormat anymore.
Right. It's funny how that works,
right?
Isn't it? And then once all of those people that recognize you as a bitch gets filtered out of your life and you've got room for other people, quality people are going to come in. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be people that you admire because you're not used to having quality people surrounding you. And when somebody of value comes around, you're like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Let's have these conversations because now you have enhanced conversations. Mm-hmm. You have a quality mindset. So if you go to them with a problem, you're not going to get the same bullshit that you're getting from the previous people who expect you to just be a doormat. Your entire life field of view changes.
Yeah. You're going from looking at a disgusting, unkept back alley to looking at a meadow with flowers and Highland cows.
Yep.
All you have to do is turn your head.
Yep. Change your perspectives.
He says it's not true, but his actions speak differently. So I'm going to reread the first sentence because we just had a whole...
Yeah, please, because I don't even remember what we were talking about.
So I have never felt respected by him. He says it's not true, but his actions speak differently.
Why would you marry somebody who has never made you feel respected?
Right. You said before when you guys were dating, on again, off again, you felt unseen by this person.
Why would you breed with somebody that you feel has never respected you? Here's a really deep thought on that. If you believe he doesn't respect you and you have a child with him, what do you think your child is going to do as it grows up? Especially if he stays in the picture and disrespects you constantly and the child believes that it's okay for the child to disrespect the mother and grows up as a man, let's say it's a boy, it grows up to be a man who doesn't think that he has to show respect to women.
Right. Now you are inadvertently putting other women in situations that you're in.
Yep. And creating generational trauma where you're going to have a perpetual cycle of men who don't know how to treat women and don't know how to respect themselves because
you
didn't want to follow through with things. When I said it's a boy, do you remember the 1-800-COLLECT commercials from back in the day?
Yes.
And the dude was like, you have a collect call from him. He's like, Bob, we had a baby. It's a boy.
I remember that, yeah.
Do you accept the charge? He's like, nope. And he hangs up. And she's like, who's that, dear? And he's like, Bob, they had a baby. It's a boy. Stupid.
That's smart though. Like,
That's
get it out there without paying for
That's
it.
how we had to do it in the 80s. You hit a
Yeah.
phone booth and hit, collect. I'll be home at 7. Hang up.
We have always fought over the fact that he will leave anything and everything he touches out for me to pick up. Trash, his tools, clothes, items from other places that he would use and just leave out, like knives, cleaners, and his toothbrush in the kitchen.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm lost on the tool thing, but now I have the toothbrush. Why is your toothbrush in the kitchen?
That's a really good question. Like, I can understand having medication in
Who
the kitchen.
brushes your teeth in the kitchen?
Are you walking around the house just slobbering everywhere, getting toothpaste all over the place?
I want to know what this man does for a living.
Yeah.
Because every man that I know that works with tools, their work area looks like shit, but their toolbox is fucking immaculate.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you need to get something like a 10 millimeter socket, you should be able to find your 10 millimeter socket. Good luck, bitches. But
Why?
because everybody loses their 10 millimeter. You could never. It's an ongoing joke for people that actually work with their hands. Your 10 millimeter socket is always gone. But for people like up until I brought my tools back here to the actual garage, my toolbox was immaculate. Everything had its place and everything was in its place. And when I was done with something, I made sure I put it back, because there's nothing more frustrating than being in the moment and needing a fucking tool and having to stop what you're doing to spend 2 hours looking for something that should have been put back in its place. So for me to hear a man has a toolbox and his toolbox is unorganized, I mean, I guess it makes sense that there's toothbrushes in the kitchen. Fuck it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was just getting ready to say. I always picked it up.
Sounds like an unbalanced checkbook to me.
No.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Ooh, my age. How many of you know how to balance a checkbook?
I do.
How many of you still have checks? They asked me for one with the roof.
Really?
When he was here the other day, he's like, "Can you write me a check?" I'm like, "I don't have a fucking
Bro,
checkbook,
was it
bro. Like,
1985?
everything is paid online now." And he's like, "Oh, you can do that. It's just another 3%." I'm like, "You take cash?" And he's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, I don't have a checkbook. I got cash." Fucking weird, man.
That sounds scammy to me.
No, it is.
Like, we know you don't have checks. You're going to have to pay 3% to do it online.
Well, they do that because you can legally pass that percentage down to your client, so the company doesn't have to pay the credit card processing fees.
So she goes on to say, I always picked it up. So when you say that you always picked it up, which means before you had children, this was a prevalent thing. And now all of a sudden, because all of these added stresses are in life, you want to bring it to the forefront and pick on this issue instead of back then when you just let it slide.
Right. It's a learned behavior.
For peace. You've shown him this is something that's acceptable in your relationship until it's not.
Right. This also falls into the boundary thing. When
It does.
You set a boundary and then you let somebody overstep that boundary, and then you set a new boundary and you let them overstep.
Mm-hmm.
That line that was once here is now way the fuck over here, and you're looking back going, how did we get here? 2 inches at a time.
Yeah. When you let people walk on you as an acceptable behavior, when you bring it to their attention, it's always going to cause an argument, because why all of a sudden is this not okay? Because you've never said anything.
Yep.
Or you have said something and you never stuck with the boundary. It boils down to self-worth, and y'all have none of it.
Ooh. You hurt some feelings, babe.
I'm going to hurt some feelings. And I will continue to sternly tell you guys, get your shit together until you do, because clearly somebody in your life who loves you is not telling you that.
Right.
So I'm going to love you, and I'm going to tell you, get your shit together. You are worth more than this. You are worth more than someone treating you like you're a maid when you're supposed to be their wife.
Yep.
You are worth more than a booty call when you're married. Pick quality people to avoid these situations, and stop getting with people when you've noticed the red flags and overlooked it because you're in love.
Right. You know how many people will email us and be like, it wasn't like this when we got married.
Of course
it wasn't like this when we met. He was a covert narcissist. He hid it the entire time, and all of a sudden this is a problem. It's not the case.
It's
You
always
just
been a problem. You
overlooked the
just
shit.
overlooked it.
Yep.
And I'm not blaming this person.
I am. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not blaming her. I don't think a lot of people recognize that they allow things to slip and put themselves in these situations because they don't set their own boundaries.
Right.
People are so horrified of setting a boundary and having somebody walk away that they would rather just be a doormat.
People are also more worried about being told that they are controlling than to establish a boundary, because we're told that by having a boundary, you're controlling.
I would rather be controlling and single than in a relationship and miserable. You were going to say something?
No, I'm actually getting notifications now from the chat. So
I'm going to reiterate a point I made earlier because it can apply in this situation. You can either, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, you can stand your ground or you can be the ground that they walk on.
yeah.
Which one of those sounds more appealing to you?
Right.
I would rather set my boundaries and have somebody walk out of my life because they chose not to respect it than lower my quality of life to accommodate somebody else because I don't want to be alone.
Right.
If that person's not willing to respect your boundaries, they're not the person for you. You don't have to beg somebody for decent respect in a relationship. That's a given.
Right. It's also not it's not controlling to set your boundaries. I know that that's the narrative. And I know that narrative is coming from the feminist standpoint because men that tell women they can't go to bars and not to post fucking provocative photos on social media is a control thing and all this nonsense. And I call it nonsense because it's not control. I'm giving you my boundaries. I'm giving you external information to make an internal decision on how you want to live your life. Mm-hmm. Those are my boundaries. It doesn't matter how long we've been together. If I'm not okay with something, I'm not okay with it.
Right.
If we've been together for 30 years and all of a sudden you have a problem with something and it's never been discussed and you get mad about it and then tell me like, this is a problem for me, that's not controlling me. That's you telling me that this is now a fucking problem and we need to figure out how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, you're so controlling.
It's not controlling.
Shut the fuck up with that shit.
So, majority of the time when people date, they are dating to marry.
Yeah, they should be.
You are looking for your lifelong partner. That dating phase is that application phase.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you I'm expecting of my husband, of my wife, and it is up to you on whether or not you are willing to meet those requirements.
Right.
And if you are not, I have other applicants.
Yep, and you will always have other applicants. That whole control being applied to the conversations that we have and me understanding the way that our brain vies for information, I don't look at any of that as a controlling scenario anymore. I don't. I view it all as a choice. The more information that I have coming from an external source into my brain, the more data I have to make a decision.
And it's not just a decision, it's an educated decision.
Right. And it is a decision. If you go, hey, I don't want you to ever drink whiskey again. And I'm like, fuck that. And that's the end of the conversation. I don't know why you don't want me to drink whiskey. I'm an asshole when I drink. Do I talk too much? Can I not perform in the bedroom when I'm drunk? Like, there could be a whole slew of things that need to be discussed. And if we don't have that conversation, I can't make an informed decision on why you don't want me to drink and whether or not I want to abide by that. It's not a controlling thing. I need information. I need information on everything. I'm not doing anything blind.
Right.
I want to know as much as I can fucking know so that I can make an educated decision on how I'm going to move forward for success. Mm-hmm. That's the difference between somebody that wants to perform and have the best possible fucking life for themselves versus somebody that's just kind of along for the ride and hoping for the best.
Right.
Not about that. You dictate your outcome and everything. That information helps that happen.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say this, and this might be stupid, I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
When you are looking to purchase a new car, you test drive it. Mm-hmm. And after you test drive a car, you're checking to see how it feels when you drive it. You're checking to see if the AC works, if you're okay with how it feels when you're sitting in it. If you are someone who takes trips out of state and you're going to be in the car for longer than 6 hours, are you going to be comfortable sitting in this car? Those are all factors when you're buying a car. And if 3 of those 4 things are missing, that doesn't mean you fucking hate the car.
Right. Just not
that
yours.
That whole car needs to be scrapped, destroy it because it's not the one for me. You just go, this ain't it, and you move on.
Yep.
And you go until you find something that checks all of your boxes or majority of your boxes. And then you find the car you want. Relationships. Just because somebody doesn't meet all of your boxes doesn't mean that they're a piece of shit.
Right. Just not
or that they are a low quality human being. It just means that that's not the person for you.
Yep.
That is not your car.
And that's okay.
That is okay.
And it's better to figure that out now than 5 years down the road.
Right.
Yep. It's obvious that we buy a lot of cars because you went to that and I was like, damn, we do this a lot. There's currently 210 people watching us on a Saturday afternoon.
Wow. I love that.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us on Saturday.
I do. I enjoy that. That's cool.
Yep.
How did you guys like that car analogy? I need feedback because I try to say things that way people can understand.
Yeah.
And when I paint a picture, you are more likely to understand the painting of my picture versus me just saying, date. And if you don't like them, move on. When you can apply it in other aspects of life, because relationship and dating is so diluted by emotions and feelings and controversy and conflict that you can't see clearly. So when you can apply it to a more practical instance, like buying a car, that will make it click in another sense.
Lorraine said, speak louder for the people in the back, referring to you standing your ground and test driving your partner.
Hell yeah.
Yep. $25 super chat.
Ooh.
Thank you, Lorraine. We have a couple other ones. You want me to read those and see if there's feedback in them? We got a $2 one from Katie Reed that says, hey, you. Another $2 one from Jasmine, liking the live, playing it in the background. What's up, Jasmine and Brandon? Hope y'all are having a dope-ass Saturday. Hope the kids are not too terrorizing in the moments.
She told me that they're doing really well. They're getting ready to earn their gifts that they've been begging me for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I told them they need to clean up their behavior. Start acting right. I have high expectations of them, and they're meeting it.
Miranda sent us a peach.
A little peach.
And then she sent us a $9.99. I said, isn't much, but I just wanted to let y'all know I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, what you're doing is appreciated by so many. All right. So there was no feedback in the super chats.
Okay.
Had to check, though.
Now, I'm sure you can imagine what that looks like for me with 3 small children and 2 dogs. It's frustrating beyond measure. I cook his dinner, I grocery shop, I pay the bills, I make the doctor's appointments, including his. Vet appointments, I've potty trained all of the kids and the dogs on my own. I've done everything. He goes to work for 10 hours a day, so a lot of the things I do are because he is not there to do them. And I will always be grateful for him working as hard as he does.
Can we pause? 2 things. One, everyone loves the analogy.
Oh, dope.
The other thing is, did it say she works or he works and she takes care of the finances?
So he works.
That's relevant.
He works 10 hours a day, but she pays the bills.
Okay, so he's working 50 hours a week, plus drive time to and from.
Right.
So we'll call it 11 to 12 hours a day, which is daylight, effectively. He probably comes home, gets maybe an hour with the family, and then has to go to bed and get up and do it all over again. If you're a stay-at-home and your person is out working 10 to 12-hour day shifts, and you have to take care of the house, you don't get to complain about that. It sucks. So does working 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's not fun. There's nothing enjoyable about either one of your lives in terms of work. It's fucking work.
But it's easier because you both have something covered.
Right. Right. And if you had to work a full-time job and still had to do the dogs and the kids and the potty training and the fucking grocery shopping and the cooking and laundry and all of that shit, that's a different discussion. But if you're a stay-at-home and he's providing and you have to, I don't agree with her paying the bills. I think he should handle that.
Yeah.
I personally believe that when men handle the finances, the money's a little more free-flowing and it makes them work harder to achieve things. And I'm going to stop myself. I am intentionally stopping myself with that discussion because that will tirade hard.
Okay.
But the idea of having, if you as a stay-at-home wife, which now you're technically working because of the podcast, and I'm still running the businesses and shit, but if you complain to me that all of this was too hard, I'd be like, cool, you can go back to work. I'll hire a maid because I don't have time to do all this shit. And we can live that life and we'll have a little bit of extra money, and the money that you make by working can go to the maid to keep the house clean, and we can figure that out because I don't have time to navigate all of this. I also wouldn't have 3 fucking kids and dogs, and fuck that. Like it's hard enough to keep me alive, let alone little things, you know what I mean? And we have kids and like, it's a lot. But if you were not a stay-at-home and it would make our lives so much fucking harder. So if she's a working woman 40 hours a week and he's working 50 hours a week plus drive time and she's doing all of that, it means she's doing it in a very small amount of time, so she doesn't get a fucking break.
Right.
Wakes up, goes to work, puts in the fucking hours, comes home, deals with the kids, deals with the dogs, cleans up the dogs' messes because I'm guaranteeing you there's a fucking mess.
Going grocery shopping,
cooking dinner. Yeah. Her fucking life is horrible.
Yeah.
Because there's never free time. There's never self-care. And by the time he gets off, he's tired. And because he's not doing anything, he gets to relax. That's fucked up.
That is fucked up.
Before you continue, we got a $50 super chat. And I said I would read those when they came through. Jeremy K said, I love the channel, listening to you guys while I make late breakfast. I've learned a lot on how I want to live my life, how I want my life to progress. I'm currently 23 and I appreciate the roadmap you've given me.
I love that.
I would love it a lot more if he was making gravy and biscuits. biscuits and gravy.
Oh, every time it's brought up, I want to make it.
Yep.
It's so good. I'm so good at making gravy and
I
biscuits.
just wanted to throw that out because of the whole it's biscuits and gravy from
What are you gonna
Discord.
do? Fight us about it?
No, just push the buttons.
Right. No,
You
I
showed
know.
me the button. I'm gonna push it.
My point is there's nothing they can do.
I'm gonna drop the dead Fred this boat.
Stop.
I'm pulling levers and pushing buttons and I'm sinking this bitch.
We watched that movie and she's sinking this woman's home. And I'm like, she literally just ruined that woman's life. She does not, she's homeless now. And she walks in there and she was like, so there was an accident.
Yeah, your boat sank.
Whew. I'm so glad we watched that movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Childhood trauma for the win.
As a child, I can understand how that movie is funny.
Yeah.
As an adult, picking it apart psychologically, what a
mess.
roller coaster.
Yeah. Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
So I'm always grateful for him working as hard as he does at work. When he's home, it's a different story. Everything he does is half finished. When he cleans the house, he picks up the floor and places everything on random counters or tables throughout the house, but the floors are clean, right? I forgot to mention I also work on the weekends when he is home with our kids. If he does the dishes, he only does one part and leaves me the rest. He washes his clothes and leaves them on the floor for me to put away. When he mows the lawn, he leaves the remnants of the grass on the sidewalks without brushing it away. I'm processing.
I'm just hearing complaining. If she works the 2 days that he's home with the kids, she does have a job.
Right.
But that's still 5 days where she's home. So when he's home on the weekends and he's cutting the grass and obviously kind of half-assing the dishes.
This sounds like it's being done, but it's not being done to my standards.
I was getting there, yeah. That's exactly what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Because he is cutting the grass. He's just not blowing it off. You know, people I know cut the grass and just leave the shit everywhere.
I do that.
It's normal because the wind is going to blow, cars are going to go by. It's going to happen. If he's cleaning the floor and he's getting everything off the floor to clean it, he's cleaning the floor. He's not putting the other shit away because his focus is on the floor. Him not putting the other shit away could become problematic. But his focus right now is the floor.
Yeah.
You guys need to realize that your attitude towards things and your perception of things is going to dictate your outcome of things.
Right.
If you view everything as a fucking problem, everything is going to be a fucking problem. If you view it as, hey, at least he started the laundry, or hey, he cut the fucking grass, I don't like that he did that, so when I'm home, I'm just going to go blow it off or brush it off or whatever. Like, it's a perception thing.
This is a story from my personal life. My mom was 8 months pregnant. She just got off a 12-hour shift at work, had to come home in the Florida heat and mow the grass. And my dad was home all day.
That's fucked up.
Did nothing, yeah. That's a problem.
Yeah.
He's mowing the grass. Have you guys had a discussion of, hey, babe, when you're done mowing, would you mind just taking the blower out there and getting the grass off? I don't like it when it gets on my heels.
Right. Or even just be like, it looks trashy to me.
Yeah.
The neighbors, you may think it looks great. It would take you 10 extra minutes to just blow that off or sweep it.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. Just if you could, I think it looks nicer that way.
Right.
That's a whole different problem than why don't you ever fucking sweep the grass off the sidewalk? I don't know. I don't understand why people make things more of a problem than they need to be. I understand that it's frustrating.
Yes.
People are frustrating. People do shit to get under your skin. Here's a thought. You will nag and complain and try to control your spouse. And when you can't get your way and things are going bad, you'll leave them.
Correct.
But you have family members who will disrespect you, disrespect your partners, disrespect your kids, treat you like shit, disrespect your home, create a whole slew of fucking problems.
Cross your boundaries.
And you will let that shit ride because they're family.
What about the family you chose?
When you say I do, you are creating your fucking family. You guys need to work this shit out. Because if you're willing to let your family disrespect you and walk all over you and treat you that way and you're willing to accept it because they're family,
Tell them.
put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I'm going to take a hit to that. Never mind, I dropped my vape.
You can get it with your toes.
Oh no, my foot's asleep. Come on, you can do this.
Stupid human tricks. Look at that. If it was closer, I'd have just flung it to you.
Amen.
Dork. Would you like something to drink?
Yes, please.
Another one of those? You want some water?
A bottle of water would be awesome. Thank you.
I'm almost positive there's a cold one in the refrigerator.
Yeah, was that of your doing?
It was.
You guys, he looks really good in those Dickies. He's also wearing one of our shirts, and his back just looks like a stingray.
Here is your water.
Thank you. I'm super excited for after dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have apple pie for dessert, and I'm going to have you.
Oh, we're live. Keep that shit to a...
That's all I'm
13.
saying.
Okay. Zeke just said we're holding around 220.
That's not bad.
It's not. For us not promoting this at all and not
Yeah.
going live on TikTok first, that's really not bad. And it's a Saturday. I really didn't think we were going to get a lot of viewers today because people are out doing shit. Doing that weekend life.
So, before I keep reading, I'm going to touch back on something that I just thought about.
Okay.
She's talking about having 2 dogs and having to make vet appointments and clean up after them, all this kind of things. Did you want these dogs?
Ooh, don't fucking get me started on the animal thing.
If
Please don't get me started on that. I'll let you finish your thought, but...
Okay. In a relationship, if one of you wants pets and the other one doesn't, but they agree to you having pets, those pets are your responsibility.
Yep.
You cannot complain about having to care for them and take them to vets and make the appointments and give medication and clean up after them in the yard. Just because they agreed to having the pets does not mean that they want them. You don't get to complain about that if that's something you insisted on and he was like, they are yours. You have to take care of them. You can't ask for help.
Yep.
Or you can ask for help, but you can't get pissed off when they tell you no.
Right. And you asking for help is going to put them in a fucked up situation where they feel like they have to abide.
Right.
Because you need help and you're supposed to help your partner. At least you would think that would be the case. And I'm sure they're going to bitch and complain about it, but like,
Right.
you can't, that's a no-win situation because I either say no, I'm the asshole, or I got to fucking do what I don't want to do and I'm going to complain about it. So
I would
like,
be the asshole.
Yeah.
If it was a constant thing of, say you wanted a cat. And I'm like, babe, I really don't want to take care of the cat. Like, the kids are too much. I have too much on my plate. I can't handle a cat. And you're like, I want a cat. And I'm like, okay, this is yours. Cat is your responsibility. I'm not cleaning up puke. I'm not cleaning the litter box. After you get the cat, say you take care of it for 2 months. That 3-month mark hits. You're at the bank and be like, oh, I forgot to clean the litter box. Can you get that for me?
Nope.
No. Oh, I forgot that he had a vet appointment today and I'm in Sarasota. Can you take him for me? I would probably say yes to that because I care about the health of
Right.
it. But that would be a one-time instance. You need to get your shit together. I had 40 other things going on. Now I have to stop what I'm doing to care for the well-being of your animal.
Yep.
And if that makes me a bitch, fine.
Fuck it.
Boundaries. These are just some examples of the things that drive me absolutely nuts. I feel like a mother of 4, and one of them takes up a lot more space and makes even bigger messes.
He also brings in income.
He's paying your bills. Making sure you guys have food in the fridge.
And he also does clean the floor and does help with some of the laundry.
And he mows the lawn for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that there is still things being done. It may not be enough, and it may not be to your standard, but he's fucking doing something.
You know,
and the working to pay the bills
it's a
with
big
3
part.
fucking kids and 2 dogs, 50 to 60 hours a week.
Depending on the breed of dogs, that's not cheap either.
No. Nope.
And if you're treating your dogs right, you got that specialty food going on. You're not feeding them
This really is a
Petco brands.
perspective thing.
It is. It really is a perspective thing. If you wake up every morning and you go, my life is shit. I hate it here. Why am I alive?
Yep.
That's all you're going to think.
Setting the tone for the day.
You think 1,000 thoughts in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm getting jumbled up on my words because I'm frustrated. Composure.
Grußfrau.
I am a calm creek. I am a highland cow in a field with a flower crown.
Just call you Daisy. Yep.
I am in the woods with you, listening to the wind and rain. One of my favorite memories. Okay. And I don't remember where I was going because now I have happy thoughts. I remember. So a person thinks 1,000 thoughts in seconds. If 800 of those thoughts is I hate myself, I hate my life, why am I here? I don't want to do this anymore. That is going to be your perspective on everything.
Right.
You are what you think. That is how you raise your own self-worth. If you go from thinking I'm a piece of shit to I'm an amazing human being, look at everything I've accomplished today, you're going to have more energy tomorrow than you would if you go, what is the point of all of this?
Right. Your thoughts become your words.
And your words become your reality.
Yep. We speak things into existence. And like, for those of you who are not religious, I apologize for what I'm about to say because I know that you're not watching for this, but God spoke everything into existence. And in the Bible, they say that we are made in God's image. Therefore, we have power to our words. I believe that. I believe that you speak things into existence. I believe that if you wake up every morning and you pep talk yourself, I'm going to have a great fucking day today. I'm going to be a good employee. I'm going to be a good husband. I'm going to be a great father.
I'm going to be the best me I can.
And you believe that, and you're putting that out into the universe, you're going to have opportunities coming your way to prove that you are that motherfucker.
Yep.
Be that motherfucker. Don't be a bitch. I negative self-talk. I talk shit to myself all the time. And I do it in the gym. And it's beneficial there. But I realize that once I've done that for an hour in the gym and I leave, I feel bad about myself. I feel great about my lifts. My body's wrecked. But there's that negative overlooming shit. I don't do that anymore. Now I positive self-talk in the gym. Come on, you got this. And when I leave the gym, I'm feeling good. We're laughing. We're having conversations with Sean on the way out. It's a very different mindset than what it used to be. And that is what has started to change my negative self-talk because I realized that in the moment there. And if it's going to affect a little bit of my day leaving the gym, imagine how much it's going to affect the rest of my day with all of those minor little things. And it started with you. Because I would say something, you'd be like, rephrase that. I don't want to hear that negative self-talk with you. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And in the beginning of that, I was like, yeah, okay, shut up. I don't want to hear that. Just leave me alone. You know what I mean? But when you hear that enough, you're like, okay, I don't want to hear it, so I'm just not going to say that. And then I'm still going to think it. And then the realization hit me with the gym aspect of things that made a whole lot of sense, and I didn't feel bad about it. So I started that road to recovery. Your words become fucking... Why are you squinting at me?
I want an apology.
You're not going to get one. How about that, Miss Squinty?
So you really have just been appeasing me?
No, at first I was. Absolutely. I don't deny that.
Okay.
Not anymore, though. Now when you catch it, it's an appreciative thing. Because I will catch myself in the moment and stop that shit.
Okay.
But it is nice to have somebody to hold me accountable because my self-accountability can only go so far.
I'll take that as my apology.
Okay. You can take it however you want it. Or
I am.
Or however I give it to you. Email.
You doing anything after this?
Come on, email. So we can get to that point.
Okay. Oh, God, I'm shaking.
You will be.
Oh, fuck. Oh. I gotta jazz hands it out. This is gonna sound really stupid, and I know it's not the same thing at all, but I feel like my soul just stuck a fork in a light socket. I'm all jittery and fucking... Okay. I am not composed, but I'm going to try my best.
All right. While she's trying to gain her composure, if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. It drives the algorithm. Subscribe to our channel. We were supposed to hit 50,000 subs by today.
And we're only at 42.
We're at 42, so if we're not going to hit it. AJ was wrong, but
he was close.
He was close. He was definitely fucking close. Mm-hmm. You guys can help us get there. Subscribe if you're not.
But there's a list of things that actually hurt. I've always struggled with his name. Oh. I've always struggled with his depression. Oh Lord, I am not there. I am not. You did this to me. On a live stream.
You started it.
Knowing we're live.
You started it.
Because I wanted an apology.
Yeah. This squinty eye, being pouty and bratty.
Yeah. I can't. Oh, I want to keep egging it on. I'm a frog on a lily pad.
Will you stop with that shit?
And it's moist in the air.
You said moist.
Overcast.
Everybody in the comments
Light
right now
rain.
is like, oh, they said the M word. Ugh.
I did. I used to hate that word, and now I don't.
Yeah.
That's growth. Like the lavenders in the swamp. Okay. I'm ready. That's what I usually do.
Okay.
When I tell myself composure. But now I'm just doing it out loud. That way people
I'm going to wreck that the next time you do that.
can learn a little
Just know.
something. Why would you do this?
Because I can.
You're right, and I love it. Not when I'm working. Okay. I've always struggled with depression since I was 13 years old. You know, I started getting depressed when I was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. He knows that, but when I talk to him, he rarely listens. So much so that I will repeatedly say his name while I'm sitting next to him, and he will not respond until I yell it, and then he answers what I said, which means he heard me and chose to ignore me.
Or he's checked out.
He's probably checked out. You're probably repeating yourself to him and making him feel like he is at fault for how you're feeling.
Can you read that one more time?
Yes. He knows that, but when I talk to him, he rarely listens. So much so that
I'm sorry, the part before that. I caught her yelling thing.
That's what I'm reading.
Right, but before that, she said something that led to that. I missed the leading to that.
That she's had depression since she was 13?
Right. Was there nothing in between those two things?
That's what I'm reading.
Okay.
So much so that I will repeatedly say his name while I'm sitting next to him, and he will not respond until I yell it, and then he answers what I said.
Right. I got that.
Yeah,
part.
that's it.
So there's nothing in between the fact that she's had depression since she was 13. Now she's just screaming his name on the couch.
Yeah. She says, which means he heard me but chose to ignore me.
Do you understand my disconnect there? Like, how did we get from you being depressed at 13 years old to now you're screaming at him on the couch? There's no context.
Right.
Why? How is that even relevant?
I think that's relevant because she has her depression and she feels unseen by him, which has been an issue since they were in high school.
Okay. I still don't understand why she's screaming his name on the couch.
Because he's checked out. He's not acknowledging her when she speaks to him.
I understand like that part.
Right.
I don't understand how we went from being 13 and depressed to so much so that I have to yell at him while he's sitting on the couch.
I don't understand.
There
You
should
don't
be
understand.
there should be something in between there. I've told him about my depression, and because I'm trying to discuss my depression with him, he zones out, and then I have to scream his name. There's context there. There's no context in between. She's
Right.
depressed since she was 13, and all of a sudden she's on the couch screaming his name.
Because she speaks to him. She's sitting next to him talking, and he's not saying anything to her.
About what?
Right. I'm assuming her depression.
That's the context.
right.
Because if you're trying to tell me about your favorite color ice cream, cool, brown, whatever. But if you're complaining about your fucking life and I'm so used to hearing nothing other than you complain, I'm not going to pay attention to you fucking complaining anymore because it's depressing.
Right.
Like I need context.
Right. Are you talking about how him not helping around the house is attributing
Right. And how
or
are you
contributing
and how are
to
you
your depression?
Right. And how are you delivering that?
Is it you want to talk to him about your relationship with your mom? Are you trying to talk about what's happening at work and it's affecting your depression?
Right. And because
The
he's ignoring
context
you, now you
matters,
have
you're
to yell
right.
his name. Right.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
understand why she's now on the couch yelling his name when she was depressed at 13. Like there was no
Gotcha.
foreplay.
Okay.
Before you continue that, he said that there's several new people in the chat.
Oh, word.
And we have 2 super chats I'm going to read real quick. Nicole Lindsay said, "It's been forever since I've shown support. I love this podcast so much. Y'all are the best."
Hell yeah.
And then we got another one from Desk Clan, which is my homie. He says, "Hey, Chris and Peaches, sorry I'm late. It's been a Saturday. Just wanted to say hey and remind everyone to like and share the stream," which I appreciate.
Oh, thank you, Death Clan.
Because Zeke told me that there are new people in the chat, and I'm not actually there to see the chat. All of you who are first-time viewers of the podcast that are in the chat, like, sign off, like, sound off. I want to know who you are, so that I can see as I go back through the chat to find out all the new people that are there. Because I'm going to go back and scroll through the live chat when we're done.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. It would be kind of cool to see everybody
I would
together.
like to see the new people.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And maybe when we're done, we can screenshot it and I can just say hello and drop everybody's name. Something. I don't know.
I want to say hello to all the new people. What are your thoughts? Are you enjoying what we're putting down?
Yeah.
Are you understanding? Are you triggered?
If so, why?
Yeah, I would like to know why. Like, what is being said that's causing that thought pattern? If you're like what we're saying, maybe check out some other videos.
You sound like an end credit that we put on our TikToks.
You know, last night in the Discord, Zeke created we were all watching Kitchen Nightmares together. I was having a blast. I was sitting there watching it, and Gordon Ramsay, chef, that's what I meant to say,
Okay.
Gordon Ramsay, would say something, and I would repeat it in the chat and be like, damn, he just said that. Or like someone was stupid will say something like, no wonder your business is run into the ground. Come on. Oh, I was enjoying the hell out of myself. And he said, I'm waiting for Peaches on the podcast to do one of Chef Ramsay's little walk-in afterwards and going, in my 23 years of doing this, I've never seen a restaurant fail the way it has. And now, like, I feel like that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm having my Gordon Ramsay moment.
And that's why people are triggered.
I really derailed.
You did.
That hit did it for me.
Did it?
That was good. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Before reading on, my eye just caught that he washes his own clothes and then leaves them out.
Right.
Is he washing his clothes separately because of what he does for work?
Ooh. Or is he washing his clothes separately because you refuse to do it? And there's pettiness happening? And energies are being matched because somebody refuses to be the bigger person?
Yeah.
You do this all day. Every time we do these and I play devil's advocate and I pick a side and narrate that side, I feel like I am being petty.
Yeah.
Because I know that this entire situation is because neither one of you are willing to be the bigger person and you can't communicate. And the more ridiculous I make all this sound, I'm hoping that it clicks in your brain that you're the problem. Because both of you are the fucking problem. There's no scenario, unless there's DV or SA involved or like alcohol abuse, things like that, where there's a normal relationship where you're not both the problem because you're married. Two
You guys
fleshes
chose each
become
other.
one. You're supposed to be on the same fucking team, not keeping score, competing against each other, trying to outdo each other.
Yeah.
It's not how marriage works.
You know, it boils down to when you are in a relationship with someone, you are choosing that person. That is your choice.
Right.
If all of these are an issue and you still walk down the aisle, that was your choice.
Yep.
No one held a pew pew to your head and said, go down there and say I do.
Right. And even then you had a choice. May not have
Right.
been a good one, but you fucking had one. But you're setting standards. If you accept all this before you say I do, and then you say I do, this is what your life is going to entail because you accepted these behavioral patterns the entire way through.
Yep. And then you're surprised.
Yeah. You're teaching them that this is okay.
Yeah.
And then when you make a big stink about it and be like, whoa, where's all this coming from? Because this is not how our life has been. This is not how our life has been. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. It's been 4 years and now you're mad that my toothbrush is in the kitchen?
You've always just put it back.
Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a toothbrush. You got to go in there to use the bathroom at some point anyway. Just carry it in there.
That really could be an argument about that.
It could.
Yeah.
It could. Or you can realize that at some point your partner is going to die and that toothbrush is going to be on the counter and you're not going to want to move it because that's going to be the last place they set it.
Yeah.
And you're going to miss the opportunity to put that toothbrush back because it's never going to end up on the counter again because they're not fucking there anymore. And you wasted years of your life being angry over a fucking toothbrush.
Yep.
Trivial shit, man.
It got too real. I wasn't ready. He doesn't use his words. He gets angry and starts throwing things, breathing heavily, cussing under his voice.
All of that's a problem for me.
Yeah, me too. I ask him what's wrong, and he gets angry. I ask him if I can help, and he gets angry. So is this after you are already yelling at him and telling him that he's not listening to you and you're treating me shitty?
Yeah.
If he's sitting on the couch quietly and you are spewing your life at him and he's not saying anything and you start to escalate, you're going to escalate him.
Right.
Escalate him. If you just come to him and say, "Hey babe, how was your day?" and he starts throwing shit and calling you names, that's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Him throwing things and acting like that's a problem anyways.
Right.
That lack of emotional control says a lot about somebody's character.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me.
My point in saying that is if you know that's the reaction you're going to get when you yell at him, stop yelling at him.
Right.
Until he is able to emotionally regulate himself, you know that's going to be the response every single time.
Right. She shouldn't be yelling at him either. That screaming and yelling shit's not okay.
Yeah.
There is an overall disrespect in being had when you feel it is okay to raise your voice with your partner.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. I was angry. I was triggered. That's the way I was raised. Any fucking lie, bullshit excuse you can give yourself. In the moment where you're getting mad and you start raising your voice, you're making a decision. This motherfucker's not listening. I'm going to start screaming. And you start screaming. That's a problem.
Right.
And in that moment, if the other person goes, "Oh man, why are you yelling? We were just having a talk. Why are you screaming?" That could de-escalate the situation. But that choice to go to that level has already been made.
Right.
If you yelled at me, real shit, if you yelled at me just because you were frustrated, we would have never gotten to where we are. I would never allow somebody to talk to me like that. Every time we have had a disruption and I have even remotely elevated my voice, I have stopped and apologized. Because sometimes I do get angry and I have to mentally reel myself back in, but I can hear my voice going up. As soon as it goes from 3 to 4, I stop what the fuck I'm doing and I apologize to you. I love you and I don't want to talk to you like that. And I've said this a lot. In that moment, I am reinforcing for you that I love you. I'm reminding me that I love you and this is unacceptable behavior. And I want to take it down a notch so that we can have a calm conversation, because if we are in conflict, we will not fucking resolve anything in that moment.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen when two people are yelling at each other?
Nothing. You guys are just shouting your points and nobody's listening.
Yep. And then the next day when everything is calm and it's rehashed.
And you both immediately go back to yelling.
Right. Or you resolve things the next day because you've rehashed the shit while it's over with. I just don't get it.
My point is, in saying all of that, is don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
You see that it's not working. This is the outcome every single time you raise your voice. That's not what you do. You need to recognize behaviors and things that don't work, make a note of them, and change. Course correct. Screaming and yelling clearly doesn't work. You feel like you're getting his attention because that's the only time he gives you your attention, when you are in his face and trying to make your point loudly. Right. But that's not the attention that you want. You want to feel heard. You want to feel seen.
You're not going to get validated by screaming.
No, you're not.
I also think that screaming and yelling shit comes from a childhood of having parents screaming and yelling at you, or having bullies treating you that way and not knowing how to de-escalate a situation. So you learn that behavior to try to scare people to get them to react the way that you want them to react. It is a form of manipulation and control.
Right.
And you doing that is a superiority complex. You are trying to intimidate them into conforming to what you're trying to get them to do. That's not love.
No.
Love makes requests, not demands. And when you realize that shit, you guys need to learn how to fucking talk to each other. This entire email is you two don't know how to communicate.
Right.
And it's not even a matter of communicating with each other. Your communication skills suck.
Yeah. So you said that love makes requests.
Yes, not demands.
Love will also answer those requests in a loving way.
It absolutely will.
Even if it's a no.
Yep.
It will always be done in a way that still makes you feel validated and appreciated.
Right. Because when you make a demand and you have to fulfill that, you are creating a slave moment.
It's out of obligation.
Right. There's not a chance there for me to do something because I want to do it to make you happy. I'm doing it so you'll shut the fuck up or you'll leave me alone. That's not... Where's the positive in that?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
So this man gets angry with anything she does. She goes on to say, "So I leave him alone," but then he gets angry. "When I'm sad, he ignores me. When I'm hurting over something he understands, he babies me to the point where I feel like I'm just a small child to him." So he doesn't respond to you and you get upset.
Yep.
He responds to you.
And you get upset.
And you get upset.
This is toxic.
This is really toxic. And this emailer is part of the problem.
Yep.
When somebody feels like they can never do anything right for you, why would they ever try again? Mm-hmm. And all I'm hearing from this email is that he never does anything right. He's called me ridiculous, lazy, stupid. And yes, he's called me crazy for how I approach it. Oh, he called me crazy for when the times I actually use my voice and speak up. It becomes a screaming match when I try to tell him how I feel.
So they are yelling at each other.
They are yelling at each other. Why let it escalate to screaming?
Why accept the name calling? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can say that you love someone and then call them names. I may joke with you and be like, you're a bad bitch. Or you salty bitch.
Yeah.
And like, we'll have those laughing moments. I would never in my wildest dreams, no matter how fucking mad I was, call you a bitch and mean that. And in anger, you mean it. You fucking mean that. No way. No fucking way would that ever happen. Because I respect you as a person.
Right.
And you are supposed to be my wife for the end of fucking days. And if I say some really hurtful shit, no matter what it is, anytime I get angry, when we're calm and something happens, that moment's going to get triggered. And you're going to know that that's actually how I felt with you, but that my filter came down and,
Right.
and it just came out. There's 4 things in life you can't take back. Trust, you can't get it back. An opportunity when it's missed, the words when they leave your mouth, and time. And the only thing that I don't see in this situation is an opportunity.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. We're holding steady at 224.
That's dope.
Still. Like, that's...
I don't tolerate screaming, yelling, calling names.
You shouldn't.
I did for a very long time. I did. And it got to the point, this is how I've always been as a person.
Right.
I entered that relationship being this person. I never matched energy. They would start yelling. I'd be like, we're not doing this. And it got to the point over time where I would match the energy.
Yep.
And we were screaming and yelling at each other and calling each other names. And
Do you know why that happened? I can tell you why that happened. Do you know why it devolves like that?
because I got tired of being the only person trying.
Because you feel that no matter what happens, you're not going to be respected.
Right.
You feel like there's never going to be a win. And if this is truly how this person views me, why should I honor them by being polite and calm and collect and trying to be the bigger person? Because eventually you're not going to want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And you can try to be the bigger person and be like, hey, I love you. I don't want to fight with you. And they're like, you're a fucking dumb bitch.
Yeah.
There's no...
Why am I trying?
Right. You're not going to... It is pure just disrespect. You feel like you are worthless. And if you feel like you're worthless to somebody, why should you continue to try to be the big person? Why should you try to resolve a situation in the moment of conflict? Like there is you feel like you're useless, worthless.
You don't have to tolerate that. The moment someone starts raising their voice to me, I'm going to check them. We don't do that. And then they continue. I'm walking away.
Yep.
I'm hanging up the phone. I'm not responding to the text messages.
Yep.
I don't do well with deflection either. If we are conversing on a point and you want to take that point and point it over here and try to get my attention elsewhere so we're not talking about what you did wrong, no.
Yeah.
So you can send that text message as a deflection, and my response is going to be, the point is X, Y, and Z. And if after that text message is another deflection, I'm not responding to you anymore.
Because you're just ignoring the conversation at that point.
I'm not going to carry on the conversation. I will go into another room. I'm going to get in my car and go somewhere. I'm going to go get my favorite meal.
Yep.
And I'm going to enjoy my day while you sit there and stew because you can't handle a conversation like an adult.
Yep. Yep.
So it becomes a screaming match when I try to tell him how I feel. No matter how I approach it, and I've tried every way I can think of. Somehow, we're either crying to the point of a split or screaming at each other and not speaking at all. I try to provide for our family and make our house a home, but when I want things, or when I say we need things, we have no money. Then I'm being a careless spender. Then I'm the selfish one. But he spends hundreds of dollars on food while he's at work. His hobbies like golfing, fishing, hunting, and going out with his buddies. In case you're wondering, I no longer have hobbies other than what I can do at home. But even then, if we don't have the money, I have nothing.
There's a lot of problems in all of that last couple sentences.
Yeah, there is.
There's no self-care being had on her part, which explains why she feels the way she feels. Him spending money on food at work when they should be going to the grocery store and prepping because obviously the money's tight.
Right.
They're not. She's the one that pays the bills. If she's the one that's handling the finances, how is he spending that money? How does she not have time for hobbies? How is he going hunting and going fishing and just spending if she's the one that's paying the bills?
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. If I handle the finances, if you wanted to spend $500 on clothes, you got to tell me this weekend, I plan on going to the mall. I would like to buy clothes. I'm like, okay, cool. It's Monday. I get paid Wednesday. I need a budget so that you can go do that. Or I have to pull it out of the savings account or go to the bank or pull out crypto or however that's got to work to make you go do what you want to do. I handle the finances. If you go spend that money and the money's not there and we start power threat shut off or the power gets threatened to be shut off, or a car payment doesn't get made and a car gets repoed, that's a breakdown of communication that's happening because you just went and did it without us having the money. That's an issue.
Right.
But I handle the finances. You can't just go spend like that. I handle the finances. What happens if you go to buy some Taco Bell and there's not $12 in the account because I paid all the bills? Or what happens when I write the fucking rent check and you go to Taco Bell and you go to Applebee's for some 2-for-1s and you do your thing and you come home at night and then the next day the rent check bounces, the mortgage check bounces because you just fucking spent $100 on food and there was no conversation there. That doesn't add up.
Yeah. You know, spending money on food while at work, if you're door dashing, that is $30 to $50 every time you do it.
Yeah. For something that would have cost you half that if you didn't DoorDash.
On Pinterest, I have a whole board for meal prepping.
Yeah.
There were times when we were like hardcore in our diet and we were only eating meat and rice. I could spend about $50, 80 cents per meal.
Yeah.
And we're getting 6 days worth of meals out of this.
Right.
There's a way to budget.
Yeah. Yeah. It comes down to paying attention to what's going on with your finances.
Right.
Her not having a hobby is a big fucking deal.
That is a deal. That is a big deal. The no self-care thing.
Yep.
You cannot be the best woman you can be. You cannot be the best wife you can be if you do not have your self-care.
I'm willing to bet that her entire attitude would change if she took an hour a day and did something she enjoyed, even if it was just walking around Target.
Yeah. Going and getting Starbucks and people watching.
Yep. Something. 1 hour a day, your time. Go to the gym, whatever. Your entire life would change because you have that recharge.
Right.
Your attitude towards the situations are going to change. You're going to relax a little bit. You're going to have a dopamine response because you're doing something you enjoy. You can set goals for yourself to get little victories along the way. There's a big problem in that for her. For all of you, men and women, I personally go to the gym. My gym time is my me time. Going to the park and doing cardio, even if you're there, is my me time. That's my self-care. I feel really fucking good after we do cardio. I hate cardio. It sucks ass. I'm a big dude. It sucks walking as fast as I can for miles in the woods. I enjoy it when I'm done. I feel really fucking good about it. You getting mani-pedis and fucking going to Starbucks and having your moment. And then, we feel good after those things. When you stop doing that, you become bitter while your person is enjoying their life. If I stopped doing all of the things that make me happy and all I did was sit in here and worked, and you went and did all that shit and lived the housewife life that you have, and all I did was make money, do you know how fucking bitter I would be that you got to do that while I didn't get to do shit? I can see why there's problems in their relationship.
Oh, yeah. And I am very selfish when it comes to my self-care.
You fucking should be.
You've said previously on the podcast that you admire how I'm able to just stop what I am doing.
Dude, I love that shit.
I don't play around. If I am not at 100%, everything else in my life is going to fall apart.
Yep. We don't tell a lot of our lives. Like, we keep a lot of shit in because we do want to keep some semblance of privacy.
Right.
So, like, when you're like, I'm going to go take a bath, I don't interrupt your bath. We have a bathroom door that has, like, the toilets and its own little private bathroom in there. So I still use my bathroom. I'm not using the kids' bathroom. But I'll check you out while you're in the tub. I'll flirt with you a little bit and walk out. But I'm not in there interrupting your bathtub. If I have something that's dire that needs to be addressed. Like if you were taking a bath when that Levi's email came through, I'd have interrupted your fucking bath over that because I'd have been super excited. This is a potential money thing, like Levi, blah, blah, blah. That would have been an interruption. But if like I broke a glass, I'm not going in there to tell you that. If we got an email that somebody was complaining or one of the businesses called and somebody quit, I'm not going in there to tell you that. You enjoy your fucking bath. And when you're done, we'll talk. You having those moments of self-care where I get to admire you doing things that make you happy makes me happy. And subconsciously, I fucking know that when you go out there and you train and you're doing your hip thrusters and you're adding weight and you're hitting PRs in the gym or you're taking a bath, my night's going to be fucking dope because you're going to come out feeling good. My skin is soft. My booty's got a pump to it. I can look at this new dress. My life is dope as fuck when you're happy. When you're not happy, I'm not happy. And it's not that I'm not happy because you're not happy. I'm not happy because if you're not happy, you're going to make my fucking life miserable. That's the way partnership works. If I'm off, you're not going to have a good night because you got to deal with the pissed off me. So when you're doing that self-care shit, I'm rooting you the fuck on. I am never going to tell you, nope. The only time I've ever told you not to take a bath for self-care, because we're on a well, is when the hurricane came through and they hadn't come through and done the water yet. And I'm like, if you fucking take a bath, it's going to be stinky water and we're going to have to shower in sulfur because we're on a well.
Right.
But as soon as they did the thing, I'm like, take a bath, babe. Do it, you know, whatever. We got a big ass bathtub. Fucking thing takes a lot of water. And we got a giant gallon tank thing out there. I think it's like 500 gallons or something stupid. I upgraded it. So you can take baths and do that shit because I know that if you're happy, I'm going to have a good day.
Yeah.
The idea of you not having a hobby or doing the things that make you happy, I'm not going to ever shit on that. You know how fucking like in my self-interest it is for you to do those things? It's selfishness.
On your end?
It fucking right it is.
Yeah.
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 You come out of there and after a bath of having a bad morning, take a bath and feel relaxed and you're like, hey, you want biscuits and gravy for dinner? Yes. Yeah. You want to watch Fight Club afterwards? Yes.
You should do that to
And
me.
instead of, I'm going to go sit on the couch and I walk out there and you're completely under the blanket on your phone, just fucking miserable. It's a fucking difference, man.
Yeah.
In rant.
I also include the kids in my self-care.
Yeah, you guys go for a walk in the magic woods.
Yep. Whew. When I am stressed and overwhelmed and they won't stop, we're going on a walk.
Yep.
Me being outside in nature just does something for me. And they can run around and burn energy, and I can stand out there and smoke and watch them roll around in dirt, knowing that when we get home, they're going to be in the bath and out of my hair. That is self-care for me.
Yep.
I've stopped what we were doing midday. I was like, let's go. Magic Woods. Let's go throw sticks in water.
And they get excited about that shit.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't think that parents realize how much their kids value the time with them. Because you know when you go to playgrounds and shit, you see parents sitting there with their sugary drinks,
Right.
with their phones in hands, being super overweight and not playing. So when you go to the park and you're running through the playgrounds with the kids and they're smiling and laughing and having a fucking blast, the kids are going to remember that shit. It's a very different parenting.
Yeah.
So when you go for the walk in the magic woods and they're throwing sticks, like you guys have life conversations and
yeah.
like learning lessons and like kids saw a dead rabbit. They got to learn about death while going through a walk through the magic woods. And like our son came in and got to explain the entire thing to me and how death works at 5 years old. He got a life lessons because you guys went on a walk. That shit's a big deal, man.
It is. You know, during those times is when the kids tell me I love you the most. You know, the other day, our son was in the living room watching Bluey, and I was coming in here to cook dinner, and our daughter followed behind me, and she was like, Mommy, let's go blow bubbles. And I first answered, I was like, baby, I can't. I got to cook dinner. You know, I have 35 minutes. We're on a schedule. She was like, Mommy, let's go blow bubbles. I was like, yeah, let's go blow bubbles. And I put her on my shoulders, and it was windy outside, and we're holding the sticks up in the air, and it's blowing bubbles everywhere. And she stops what she's doing, and she goes, Mommy, I love you.
Yeah. Those are those real moments, too.
It is.
Yep.
And we're out there, and we're watching the bubbles float away, and we're waiting for them to pop in the trees, and we're seeing which ones last the longest. And
Yep.
that's self-care for me, too. Those are moments where I can heal my inner child.
Yep. Those are also moments so that your kids are going to remember that you actually spent time with them instead of
Yeah.
putting them in front of a TV or a tablet.
Yep.
Yep. It's important shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for the co-parenting.
Me too.
And I know that, like I say, there are kids, guys. For those of you who are new here, they're not mine. I'm the stepdad, and ironically enough, Jasmine in the chat is a stepmom to our family, and we have the same values. So I know that their home is good like our home is.
Yeah.
And being the stepdad, I'm only invested because of you. Before I met you, I didn't know your kids. There was no investment there other than protect children. But seeing what goes on in their household and the way that they're navigating their life makes me feel secure in that those kids are going to have a dope fucking life. Like, it means a lot to me.
In the mornings at 5 a.m., if he can't find something, he will start to throw things around. He cusses loudly, stomps, throws on every light in the house besides our kids' room, and demands that I get up with him and help find what he needs.
Oh, he's a child.
Yeah. This happens often, and yes, I've pushed back. I've tried everything. We almost divorced in 2021 when we moved to another state, and I was alone for 4 days of the week. Those days I felt invincible. I felt confident. I was organized. All of a sudden, my children weren't that hard to take care of when I was on my own. But he would come home on the weekends, destroy everything in his path, play video games all day, maybe took our kids outside for an hour or two if the weather allowed it, and would clean while I was at work. So you know your solution.
She had self-care when he wasn't there.
She had self-care.
I'm sorry. I really do try to play devil's advocate. And I've been trying to like play the field the way that I'm supposed to be doing this because that's how we solve these emails.
Right.
Dude is a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is.
I'm just going to say it. He's a fucking child.
Yeah.
Back to the devil's advocate thing. I needed to get that out. I feel better now.
Yeah.
Why don't you get up with him before he goes to work? If he's got to get up at 5 a.m., it's not hard to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. I spent more than 25 years of my life getting up at 4 a.m. and staying up until midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, getting up out in 2 hours of sleep and going to work. It's not hard to get up in the morning.
Right.
If his alarm goes off, and you know he's going to be gone for the next 10 to 12 hours, why don't you get up? I love you, babe. I hope you have a great day today. Here's your lunch box. You don't have to order DoorDash today. I made your lunch.
Right.
You can set the tone for the fucking day because you're both up together. You get that little bit of time uninterrupted, and you get to dictate how his fucking morning starts.
After he leaves for work, she probably has an hour or two of uninterrupted self-time before those kids wake up.
Right. Currently, it's probably sleep because he's gone. She's got to bed to herself, and it's probably a decision that's being made to get that extra sleep because she's tired. She feels run down. She feels depressed. That's normal. People sleep when they're depressed. These are decisions that could be made to create discipline to fix your fucking life. Here's another thought. 5 a.m. wake up. Kids got to get up at 7. Your man's going to leave by no later than 5:30. Men take 5 minutes to get dressed for work.
Right.
So if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, you make his lunch while he's getting ready, you guys have a pleasant interaction, and he leaves at 5:30. You have an hour and a half before the kids get up. You can do dishes, do laundry, you can get all your shit done, or you can actually take your time to do self-care, read, journal, whatever. If your kids go to school, you've done all of your major shit in the first hour and a half. Kids go to school, you can go to the gym. Now you have self-care because the kids aren't there. You can come home, you can put on an audiobook, you can listen to the To Be Better podcast, you can learn, and then after you've got your little bit of self-time in, you could do a little bit more work until the kids get home. And then when the kids get home, you can do the homework until the man comes home, and then you guys have a normal evening.
Right.
That extra hour and a half in the morning from 5:30 to 7 is a big fucking deal because that's an hour and a half of uninterrupted time for you to do either self-care or get chores done. When we are in here and we're both editing and we're not talking to each other, editing goes really fucking quick. When I'm editing and you're watching TV and we're having conversations, I have to go back over and over and over again. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the conversations. I love them. But when we have an hour edit and it takes me 3 hours or an hour episode and we do 3 hours of editing, it really should have only taken me like 2 hours. I love that you're in here with me. If I need to get that done, I'm gonna be like, babe, I want to go to bed in a little bit. Like, let me just focus on this and we can talk about that later. It's super easy, right? It's a whole lot different than be like, will you leave me the fuck alone? Like,
Right.
you guys, your perception of everything and the way that you're approaching these situations are dictating your outcome.
Yeah.
Again, dude is a piece of shit.
He's
got a whole lot of life lessons that need to be learned.
He definitely does.
And their kids are seeing that.
They really are. The things that we've talked about in this, your perception is your reality. Instead of going, I can't believe he's asking me to wake up at 5 a.m. with him.
Yeah.
You know this is going to be a daily thing. Take advantage of it. Use this in your benefit. Be selfish.
Yep.
Wake up at 5 a.m. because you know it's going to be easier than him waking up yelling at you. This is going to this happens every day anyway. You know this is what your life is. Turn it around. Set your alarm for 40:45. Wake up before he does. If he's waking up at 5 a.m. If he's dressed by 5 a.m., wake up at 4:45 and be like, hey, babe, I just want to kiss you.
Yep.
Have a good day today. You're going to set the whole tone for his day. He might be a little bit less angry when he comes home from work.
Right. We've talked about this a lot too. You dictate the intimacy in the household as a woman. Mm-hmm. You do.
Yeah. That's why my self-care is so important.
Right. When I wake up in the middle of the night, 2:00 in the morning, and I know I'm not going back to sleep, my day starts, and I go sit on the couch and play chess on my phone or read, you will get out of bed and you will come lay on the couch next to me, put your feet on me, and you'll go back to sleep and you'll sleep on the couch.
My little blindfold thing.
Right. But you make it a point to go, hey, I know that you're going through it. You obviously can't sleep. Your brain is going, your BPD, all of your other mental shit is going right now. I support you, but I'm going to sleep on the couch. Here's my feet. And you fucking lay there. It's not as comfortable as the bed.
No.
But you do get your sleep, and I'm not alone with the light on in the living room, researching, doing what I'm doing because I have you to support me. Mm-hmm. If I got up at 2:00, 4:00 or whatever, and that was my normal routine because I can't sleep because I'm going through what I'm going through, and you were shitty about it, or you slept until fucking 10 because you know that you don't have to get up and go to work, and I'm up already, so the kids got to do what they're going to. There's going to be a whole lot of problems between you and I. There's going to be an envy, true resentment from me to you because you get to fucking sleep. And I never wake you up.
No, you don't.
Ever. Like, I'll hit your foot. You okay, beautiful? Like, it's 10 o'clock, you know, which is rare. And normally you're sick and I'm just checking on you. But I don't do that. You're an adult. You know if it's fucking noon, you shouldn't be sleeping.
Yeah.
But we have that respect for each other. There's no respect there. And there's no
is
love and there's
not.
no intimacy. That you coming to the couch and sleeping on the couch is an intimate thing. It is showing me that you support me in my time of need, even if you're sleeping.
You know, in moments like that too, there was one night specifically where I asked you if you were okay and you said no. And I was like, do you want to talk about it? You know, I'm half asleep.
Yeah.
But I know me prompting you and you speaking out loud helps you process your things.
It really fucking does.
So even though I'm half asleep and I'm half processing what you're saying, I'm still listening to you.
Yep.
And in my half groggy, half awake state, I'm responding. And I'm probably not being helpful, but you verbalizing your thoughts helps you get through it.
Yeah. You guys hear how different this sounds? How these examples of the way that we live our life sounds compared to the person that sent the email?
Yeah.
These are choices that we make. These are decisions. It would be very easy to sleep in. Mm-hmm. You have coughing fits at nighttime.
I do.
And you will leave the room. And
especially when I'm sick.
And I'll hear you get up. I'll hear your feet across the floor because we have hardwood floors. I'll hear the door close, and I'll look at the time so I can make a mental note. Okay, she went out there. She's probably not sleeping tonight. She's probably going to be tired tomorrow morning. So when I get up, if I wake up at 7 and I don't hear anything going on out here, I have to be real quiet. I'll put my socks on before I leave out so that you don't hear my feet on the floor. Mm-hmm. But I know that you weren't sleeping well. And I know that you made the decision to leave to go sleep in the living room because of your coughing fits to not wake me up because you know I'm a light sleeper. That's a decision.
Right.
You know that you're going to be able to sleep out there. Your body's going to be a little bit elevated. You're not going to cough as much. And even if you do, you're not going to be worried about waking me up. The kids' bedrooms are too far away. They're not going to hear it either.
Yeah, I can just die in the living room fine.
It is a decision that you're making,
Yeah.
and it is a courtesy. You don't have to do that. The night that I was getting sick from food poisoning, I apologized. I was throwing up in the fucking bathroom apologizing to you for making noise.
I was sleeping.
I know. You didn't hear any of it. I mean, you heard it when it happened while I was in the bed, and I fucking thought I herniated a disc in my back. But
yeah, there was one part where it got super rough, and I checked on you.
Right.
Like,
but that courtesy goes a long fucking way, and it's because we respect each other. It's because we don't call each other names in arguments. It's because we don't scream and fight. It's because we have proper communication to resolve issues before it becomes conflict.
Right.
There is a level of respect that is maintained in our household that is lacking in that one.
Yeah.
And when you look at the situations, it comes down to choices that we make for each other to benefit our lives. Me knowing your self-care, for example, is just one of those choices. I can make a choice to be like, really, you're going to take another fucking bath? I'm not going to see you for 2 hours. I'm hardly ever here. Or if the kids are here and you needed to take that bath, you actually wouldn't do that then. But if you really needed to, you could. You'd be like, hey, I'm going to go take a bath. Can you keep the kids occupied for 2 hours? Cool. I'm not going to be jealous or bitter or upset that you're doing that. Because I know that when you're done, the rest of the evening is going to be a whole lot fucking better than it would be if you didn't do that. Mm-hmm. These small decisions, when you recognize that they are choices being made to better for the betterment of the house, it's not that big of a deal to just let it happen.
Right. I'm going to go back to the 5 a.m. thing.
Okay.
Like I said, you could turn the situation around. He seems to be a very short-fused person.
Yes, he does.
You know this about him. If waking up at 5 a.m. makes his life easier, in turn, it's going to make your life easier.
Yep.
It's a favor for everybody. That's also going to show that you care about him. And you waking up and just helping him and getting his shit together with him, finding his keys before he leaves or having his lunchbox and everything ready to go the night before. You don't even have to wake up at 5 a.m. Pack his lunch, put it in the fridge, put the keys on the counter so he can see it perfectly, put his wallet next to it.
Yep.
And he's set to go. He just got to grab his shit and leave.
Yeah.
Have his work boots by the front door. Put socks in the work boots that are fresh so he can just throw them on and go.
Yeah. You guys should be working as a team.
Right.
You should be serving your partner. I know that people get really hung up on the submission word, so I've been using the term serve more than submit, but it is a form of submission. You are doing what you can to make sure that their fucking life is better.
Right.
And that works both ways. There are small things that we do to just simply make our life better. Like I have magnets for all the keys that go on the side of the refrigerator. And when we come in, the first thing we do is stick the keys on the refrigerator. I never have to look for my car keys. Like my toolbox. If you put things where they fucking go, you never lose them. I have a lighter that we use for the candles. It sits right next to my computer. When I light a candle, no matter where it is in the house, if it's in the bathroom on the other fucking side, I'm going to walk all the way back over here and put the lighter back because I know where the lighter is.
Yep.
Those small things will make your life a lot easier. If you put his lunchbox in the same spot every day, his boots next to the door in the same spot every day, these routines, discipline, it's why they do the shit in the military. You do the same thing over and over and over again until it becomes habitual and you don't have to think about it. It's automatic.
Yeah.
That's our life.
And, you know, some people could say, well, I'm not going to treat him like a child.
Oh, my fucking God.
That's
You already
not-
are by screaming at him.
Right. But that's not treating him like a child. That is being his crutch.
Right.
Picking up where he is weak. That is what a marriage is. You guys are supposed to support each other. Be my strength and my weakness.
Right.
And I'm that for you.
Yep.
It's about unconditional love. You know, like you said this whole time, your perception is reality.
Yep.
An obstacle can be either something you overcome or it's going to be something that's going to be detrimental to you. And the way that you view that obstacle, if I'm at an impasse, like I have to cross a roaring river, I can either try to build a raft, I can try to build a bridge. You guys have multiple options for things. You can just face this thing head on and try to swim across it. But you have to get to the other side.
Right.
The way that you do it is dependent on you. How easy it's going to be is dependent on you.
You know that, speaking of obstacles, God or the universe, however you want to look at it, will put the same obstacle in your life over and over and over again until you learn to properly overcome that obstacle. And when you know that, and you look at your past relationships and you see all the shortcomings that repeat themselves over and over and over again that you failed to work through, is going to continue to happen because you didn't learn how to overcome the fucking obstacle. And when you learn to overcome the obstacle, it's not an obstacle anymore. It's a bump in the road. Now it's just one of those things that you know you have to navigate. It's not a big fucking deal. Same thing. Same thing.
Yep.
Anything can be achieved with discipline. Fucking
Yes.
Death's Clan. That was a super chat. We actually have a couple I'm holding off on.
Okay. We're almost done.
Okay, we have a full conversation from 2 of these super chats
Oh, okay.
coming. Headless Mistress, be patient. Please don't leave. I really want to talk on this.
Okay. She's one of my favorite people in Discord.
I
yeah.
like the name.
I enjoy the things that she says.
It reminds me of like a voodoo priestess with like a stick and a skull on the end of
Yeah.
it. I don't know why, but that's what I see when I hear her name.
Oh, I picture like a headless horseman, but it's a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how our brains picture shit.
Yeah.
We're damaged.
Oh, with the mistress, I'm picturing like a very flowy, like a corpse bride
Yeah.
dress going on and moonlit background, but like it's Sleepy Hollow.
Tell me that words don't have power.
They really do.
Simple shit.
Yep.
Yep.
So we just read he would destroy everything in his path, play video games all day, and maybe take our kids outside for an hour or two if the weather allowed it, and would clean the house while I was at work. And Monday, I would have to deep clean everything again and again the next week. I mean, I do that. I once
So wait
a
a minute.
week.
You have to clean your house on a weekly basis?
Right.
No.
Right. I do a deep clean once a week. I have one day dedicated that I 6 or 8 hours.
Yeah, and then you just keep up with it the rest
And then
of
it's
the week.
maintained the rest of the week.
That's how that works.
Right.
I mean, that is how that works.
It
That's how
is.
my entire fucking life, that's how it's been. You have one day where you deep clean everything, and then you just touch it up until it needs to be deep cleaned again. And if you stay on top of it, you can sometimes push that shit out 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
Anyways.
My foot's asleep. Swapping legs.
You just narrated your leg cross.
I did.
Her foot was indeed asleep. It felt like pins and needles.
I
She
can't
switched
wiggle
legs.
my toes.
What?
I can't. No, wait, here it comes. Here we
Oh,
go.
okay. I was like, what do you mean you can't wiggle?
No, it
I
was
thought you meant
asleep.
like you actually couldn't.
No, I can.
I was like, that explains why you can't pick shit up with your feet.
Okay.
The more you know.
Reading Rainbow. So she would have to do a deep clean weekly, which is kind of a normal thing in my opinion.
Yep.
No matter who's doing the cleaning, there should be a deep clean once a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could say I put two and two together and pretty quickly to. So yeah, you could say I put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly to figure out what my problem was.
But you didn't.
You didn't.
You blamed.
You're blaming him, correct?
Yeah.
He is encompassing every issue that you have in your relationship.
And I'm not saying he's not a fucking
He
problem.
is a problem.
But there's a whole lack of accountability on your part.
There is. It takes 2 to tango, and if there's something going wrong in a relationship, both of you are contributing.
That's right. You can't win and he can't lose.
And sex, he expects it daily. Sometimes even when I'm begging him to leave me alone.
That's a problem. That's a problem not because he's begging, but because your intimacy is so fucked up that you don't want to be with your husband.
Yeah. When I'm begging him to stop pushing it, he doesn't, and eventually I give in. I love that time with him, but not every time because I'm not always in the fucking mood.
Because you don't self-care.
And he promised to get better. He promised to try harder. He promised to change. And he has, in small ways here and there, he has changed. I can say that confidently because there's been a year since that time and those things stayed, but not all of them. He is more attentive to me. He demands my children respect me, which is nice, and I'd rather he show them he loves me. Oh, he demands that the children respect me and love me. He shows me in little ways that he loves me.
So his love language and your love language don't match, and that's a problem for you? Or he doesn't know how to love you with your love language?
Or you're not properly communicating what your needs are to feel loved.
Yep.
All right, this is a genuine question. So she just listed everything wrong with their relationship, blaming him for everything wrong in their relationship. We have probably 3 more sentences.
Okay.
The very end of this email, she puts in, yeah, he's done this. And yeah, he's changed these little things. Have you even given him recognition for that? In 1 year, he has changed things. He's shown you that he's capable of those changing. If you are not saying, babe, I've noticed that you've changed this and I feel things have improved. I'm feeling better. So now let's start focusing on this area. Because without that recognition, why would anybody want to continue to change anything else in the relationship? Because they're already not being seen for what they've had changed.
Yep. That positive affirmation shit goes a long fucking way. It's why we do it to children.
Yeah.
It works.
It works. And it's not babying an adult.
Right.
It is positive reinforcement to show that what you're doing is working.
Right. I'm going to break this down real fucking simple for everybody that's watching. Mm-hmm. When you have a crying kid,
you don't yell at them.
And you start screaming at them, have they ever stopped crying because you're screaming? It makes things worse.
It does.
When you have a dog that's running and you chase it and they think it's playtime and you're screaming at the fucking dog and then it's afraid of you, do you think it's going to come back because you're calling it? Your attitude and your actions fucking matter. So that positive reinforcement, when a kid goes potty for the first time and you're screaming and yelling, hooting and hollering and cheering, they're going to try it again because they want to get that same positive affirmation.
Right.
Adults crave the same fucking thing. We just understand it differently.
That never goes away. That need for validation. And you want to call an attaboy? Adults crave attaboys.
Yeah.
They want to feel seen, especially by the person that they love and who's supposed to love them back. You're supposed to have their back. You're supposed to be the one person they can turn to no matter what and feel seen and validated. Yeah. And because you don't feel that way, you're shutting that down on them. Yeah. It's an exchange of energy.
It is. It's gratitude. It's acknowledgement.
It is. The problem is the lack of respect and trust.
Yeah, that's actually the fucking problem.
On both
of y'all.
ends.
Yep.
A lot if not all of these things, were what he witnessed his father do to his mother growing up? Point that out to him.
Yeah, point out the fact that I'm willing to bet that you're doing the same thing his mother did to his dad.
Because
Tell me I'm fucking wrong.
You emulate what you see in your childhood.
Right.
If he has not seen anything else, he's probably dating his mom. Take a step back. Are you acting like his mother?
Or acting like a mother, nagging, controlling, trying to dictate everything in the fucking house? What happened to the individuality that you guys have?
If you are in a fucked up relationship right now and you feel like nothing is going right, take a step back. Because a son is going to emulate what he sees in his father.
Yep. If he had one.
If he had one.
And if not, he's going to expect the woman to do things the way the mother did because he doesn't know any better. Which is why men in the home are fucking important. Good men in the home are very important. That's a whole different topic, too.
A damaged man who grew up seeing a damaged father can only date women who will allow that behavior, like their mother did. If you are having issues in your relationship, take a step back and reevaluate. Yes, that was his childhood. I'm really hung up on that right now.
Yeah, I can
Holy
tell.
shit.
That's history, man. That's the way shit works.
No.
Until we learn to work through the things that we've seen and like truly learn from them, they will repeat over and over and over again. And his kids are going to do it, and their kids are going to do it, and it's going to be a fucked up cycle.
Right, but when you think about that, in my past relationships, I dated all the men my mom dated.
Yeah.
If you're having problems in a relationship, take a step back. Are you that woman? Are you that man who they saw growing up and they've complained about in their past? Oh my God.
I guarantee you your mom ain't never had a man like me.
No. And like looking back, I behaved like my mom. I behaved like my grandmother. I behaved like every woman I saw in my family because I never saw anything different. But because they were saying men's the problem, the man's the problem.
Yeah, because it's easier to throw blame
my
and shade
God.
than it is to accept accountability and make change.
That's crazy.
Nobody wants to be the problem. Period. It's way easier to throw that shit on everyone else and just be the fucking victim than to be the person that has to do the work. Mm-hmm. And when you're in social circles that also have a victim mentality, they will always side you as the victim and pity you and pour you. Mm-hmm. And eventually that's how you're going to get your attention. And you're going to constantly come around that same group of people that are fucking negative and complaining and depressed. And your life is just going to perpetuate that shit.
Yeah. I love this man. I loved him since I was 16.
It doesn't sound like it.
It doesn't. But I'm 26 now. I want a career. I need friends. I need to do... What? Oh, I need more. We've never tried marriage counseling. I almost said canceling.
That's okay. You can do that.
We've never tried marriage counseling because he thinks it will just be an hour of me and a therapist ganging up on him.
What is... Okay, that says a lot.
It does.
That says a lot about what's going on in your home.
Yeah.
Old boy doesn't want to talk to you because all you do is bitch and complain at him. And he's afraid to go to therapy because you're going to start with a therapist, get him on your side, and he's going to feel like he's being teamed up on.
Yeah.
He needs to go to therapy by himself.
He does. I would suggest that. If you're not comfortable doing couples...
She needs to go to therapy too.
Yeah, they both need it. Definitely.
And it should start separate.
It should.
You should always start separate.
Mm-hmm. I'm not perfect. I have made many mistakes in our relationship. We were both still kids in the beginning, but we're not anymore. So where do we go from here?
You're 26. Yes, you are.
I would go as far to say, as you guys are both still stuck in that 16-year-old mentality.
Yeah,
just because the body grows doesn't mean the mind does,
Ooh,
unless
fuck.
you exercise it.
That's right. And there's definitely no fucking weightlifting going on over there. You are not wrong. Whole lot of man children running around.
Whole lot of little girls running around in women bodies.
That's that was a good one.
Thank you.
I enjoyed that.
Thank you for reading this, even though it's long. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to listening to your podcast more.
Probably won't enjoy this response.
Probably not.
Guys, we're not going to ever sugarcoat shit. And I'm getting... Oh. Did it actually spill anything?
No, it's empty.
I'm getting to the point where like we've approached a lot of these situations with kitty gloves and have tried to help people, but with the amount of content, the hours upon hours of content that we've put out, The answers are out there.
They are.
We have put enough out that like if you send stupid fucking emails, you're gonna get stupid responses. It's just the way it is.
I wouldn't even say that's a stupid email. That's somebody who lacks self-accountability.
Right. Well, you know what I mean.
Right.
That's obviously not the right term, but my tone and inflection should have indicated what I meant there. I guess I should probably be more articulate with my words, especially in those moments, because I'm going to get hate in the comments. But
when you say stupid, I hear you know better than that, but you did it anyway.
Right. Well,
or there's ignorance. You're lacking the knowledge.
Right. In that scenario, that's exactly what it is. They're lacking the knowledge. But we've put it out there. And for somebody who's like, I love your content. We love what you're doing. I've listened to all your podcasts, and then send an email like that. You haven't. Right. You haven't listened to all of our podcasts. We get emails from people that have only seen our TikToks. And if you can get value from the TikTok that is made into a clip to trigger you, go
to the YouTube channel.
You're getting a minute of a 3-hour conversation that has tons of information and value, and you're sending me. You know, people send emails who are 17 and 18 years old that are in a 2-month relationship that are having problems that expect us to fix that shit. Like, that's not what we do.
I put that in the rejected folder.
I do too. I move that shit immediately.
If you've known somebody for 3 months and you've been dating for a month and you're emailing us, end the relationship.
Yeah. Yep.
That is the wrong person for you.
And that's okay.
That is okay. It's fucking okay. Yeah. When you go to Starbucks, you have your order of what you do. The person behind you is not going to have that same exact order. And you don't hate on them for that. You don't expect them to change their taste to accommodate what you want.
Right.
Everybody has everything. Everybody has a way that they want things done. Everybody has a preference on what they have going on in their life. If somebody is gay, you don't expect them to turn straight because that's your preference.
Right.
That's accepted in society. So we need to start accepting the fact that everybody is not made for everybody.
Yep.
And it is okay to end a relationship and say, hey, this is just not going to work out. It doesn't mean you're an evil person. It doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean you're never going to work with somebody else. It just means that we don't work together.
Yep. And that is okay.
How long have you been going for?
2 hours and 22 minutes.
I'd say that's a pretty good live.
It actually has been a pretty decent live. I feel like this was I enjoy these. I enjoy these more than the Patreon lives. We do live Patreons on Sunday nights. It's just Q&A. For people who are in Patreon on the VIP and up tier.
It's so you guys have more intimate interactions.
Right. We can just bullshit with you guys. And a lot of it is not this. A lot of this is like it's talking about movies and potatoes and
answering your
buffaloes
questions
and shit like that. Like we have just a chill. It's literally Sunday night and chill. This feels like we actually did something, so that's good for me. It makes me feel like I didn't waste my day. I do have a couple super chats, and one of them is going to create a conversation. So,
okay.
Amber Burns wrote, I love the dynamic you share and that you share it so freely to better the lives of others. My husband and I have this, and it's amazing. Thank you for all you both do.
Hell yeah.
Headless Mistress sent two chats. Zeke, if you have other super chats, you can send those now. She said... The first question she wrote was, your spouse went to the opposite gender's house to smoke as friends, but hid that from you and ended up confiding in each other. The next one said, and another question, do you think that going over to another gender's house who you see as a friend as cheating? Thank you for everything you guys do. Yes. All of that is a problem for me.
I would, even if they were a friend before you and I were together, I would never go to the opposite sex house without you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There would never be a one-on-one hangout session.
It shouldn't be.
Or it would be people that you know, female friends of mine that you know that you can trust are going to go with me.
Right.
There's a witness.
Yeah, there should always be a witness. My thing is that you're going somewhere to get inebriated.
Yeah.
Or under the influence of something that is going to change your thought process. And whether you we're both for cannabis use.
Correct.
Both have our medical cards, so like that's not something that I'm shitting on, but you can't deny the fact that it does alter your way of thinking. If you are an anxious person and you smoke and it calms you down, by definition,
that's altering.
It's altering your fucking thought process. I don't agree with going to the opposite person's house and being alone with them, ever.
No.
Because there's a whole lot of things that even if things don't go bad, accusational statements could be made and drama could come from it.
And it's your word against theirs.
Right. The best way to remove yourself from a dangerous situation
is to not fucking
be there in the first place. Yep. So there's that. As for
The divulging.
the divulging, right? Because she asked if we see that as cheating. I do
Yes,
see that as cheating.
That is emotional cheating.
I think that the moment you start telling the opposite sex about your relationship in a negative format in any way, shape, or form, you are doing so to gain sympathy, and it's opening the door for the other person to weasel their way in.
It's not just sympathy at that point. If you are attracted to the person of the opposite sex, but have never acted on it, you not even attracted. If you go to the opposite sex and you're a heterosexual person and you are divulging emotionally to that person about what's going on to your relationship, you are looking for them to fill your emotional need that your spouse is supposed to be.
Right.
That is emotional cheating.
You're actually removing the opportunity for your spouse to be your spouse.
That's emotional cheating.
Yeah. Yep. It's deeper than that. When you really think about that, though, like it is cheating, and that sucks. But when you remove the ability for your partner to be your partner, you're
closing that door on them.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the best way to word that.
They're not even making that choice.
Yep.
You are choosing to close them out of that part of your mind.
Right. And once you've got it out and it's been resolved, it's not likely that you're going to bring it up again unless it's been resolved and there's a negativity bias that's been included. And now you feel the need to have conflict. Have you ever seen the memes that say, if you and your girl have a conversation and everything is fine, and 20 minutes later she comes back with an attitude, it's because the girls in the group chat said that what happened was not okay? That's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
They've created a negativity bias. Now you're fired up and you want to fucking have conflict when everything was
you don't
resolved.
let him get away with that?
Yeah.
He said that and you think that's okay?
Yep.
He's manipulating you right now.
We got one more.
Okay.
Because I don't really think that needs to be much more of a conversation unless you have a lot you would like to add to that. I really wanted to drive that point that we see all of that is wrong.
Yeah.
And as cheating.
Yep.
And it may not be that way in the beginning, but it will
That's how it
absolutely.
gets there.
That's fucking right. It is, and it starts with a mind altering substance in a private scenario, divulging your personal life to somebody of the opposite sex, and if you are friends, there's already a connection there.
Yes.
Because you have a friendship. There is a connection between the two of you. It could evolve. Doesn't mean it's going to, but it fucking could. You're just putting yourself in a shitty situation. If a house is on fire and there's no one in there, no animals, would you run inside? No. Why are you doing that? Don't do that shit to yourself. Lorraine sent a $2 chat that says, time to plug for the new people. We also got somebody from Norway in the chat. Is that a first for us?
Norway.
Do we have Norway? Netherlands? We have the Netherlands.
I'm going to put a map up.
Yeah, we need to do that.
And I'm going to color in.
Yeah.
I want a world map. I'm going to do that when we're done. I'm going to print it.
Okay, well, maybe probably just buy a big one from Amazon and tack it. That way it's a whole lot less work. I have to Amazon some shit anyways.
Hell yeah.
So Lorraine said time to plug for the new people. So let's hit the Patreon plug one more time. Would you like to do that or would you like me to do it?
So if you guys are new here, we do have a Patreon. 4 different tiers. You don't feel obligated to donate anything, to spend money on anything. This is just putting the information out there so you're aware it's a thing. We have a $5 tier, which is just a tip, a thank you, contributing to what we were doing.
And you get absolutely nothing for it. To be clear, It's not going to help emails get read. It's just a thank you, $5 a month. Here you go.
Right. We have a $10 tier that gives you access to exclusive content and pre-release content. We have a $15 tier that includes everything with the $10 plus Discord access.
And live streams.
Oh, yeah. The $10 tier gets that as well. No.
Nope. $10 does not get live streams.
$15. Yep. I'm really not a part of the administration, you guys. So, correct. $10 tier is just the exclusive content and pre-releases.
Right.
$15 tier, everything with the $10 tier, 4 live streams a month, which happen on Sundays, and access to the Discord. Discord is always popping off. I have so much fun in there.
Yeah. And it's always active.
I've
never gone
active.
in there and there not been people talking.
And you guys get one-on-one conversations with us. Not one-on-one like private DMs.
Yeah, we don't do that.
But in the active, any chat, you can tag us and we'll go back and forth with you. And we'll have discussions. And there are a couple of nights where if you are having like a hard time and a mental breakdown and you need conversation with people, we create separate threads. And you can have 10 or 15 people bouncing ideas off and help you calm down. There's a $20 tier where you get an additional access for your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend who's going through it.
Yep.
You guys can come into the Discord and have access to all of that.
That's all 4 tiers.
That's all 4 tiers.
Yeah.
Dope.
So the other way to support us is super chats, which you guys have been seeing people do. Mm-hmm. Super chats go a long way. You can also subscribe here on YouTube. We do share some of the content between Patreon and YouTube. moving forward, there will be. We forgot to add that Patreon gets priority email readings.
Yes, priority email readings. We also drop shirts there first.
Yes.
You guys get first access to any merch we drop.
Yep. And it could only be 5 minutes, but there will always be a lead time for Discord, Patreon. The emails, I wanted a disclaimer on that moving forward. Just because you pay for Patreon does not mean I'm going to read your email or that she's going to read your email. It doesn't mean that our screener is going to even give us the email. It means that if it's viable to be read and we can help you, you get priority because there's hundreds of emails waiting to be read for what we're doing right now. Patreon, I think, has only got like 51 currently, and all of those may not even be, they're in the folder for us to approve administratively to go with. But if you're sending emails that are covered in DV, SA, alcoholism, or any type of addiction, where you're trying to just fix somebody, we can't help you with that.
Right.
If we think that your email's bullshit, if we think that you're telling us a story or the
guys,
timelines don't add up, we're not reading those.
We're not stupid.
Right. And we, believe it or not, we get those.
We do.
So that needed to be clarified. The super chats on YouTube are donations. That really helps. We have a donation button on the website if you want to do that. It doesn't really matter.
We are also selling our photographs.
We do sell prints.
Yes, if you guys are interested in our photos, our photography, we have our Instagram, which is Sinful Images, one word. We also have the To Be Better podcast Instagram. So if you're not following that, you get behind the scenes snippets.
Yeah.
There.
We post there as well as TikTok. So with what I was going to say with the YouTube thing is if you're a member on YouTube and you're not a member on Patreon, you don't have to subscribe to both, but Patreon does get more benefit, more bang for your buck. We are getting to the point where we are going to start sharing Patreon content to the YouTube members because we're getting up there members on YouTube, and it's only fair for them to get some content. So if you send an email for Patreon only, make sure you specify Patreon only, do not post on YouTube, so that we know not to share that to the YouTube members. And then finally, the most dope thing that you can do is share our fucking content. The more people that see us, that vibe with us, that want to be a part of what we're doing, the faster we're going to grow.
Yeah, the biggest part about all of this is the community that we built here.
Right.
There are some really dope people a part of this community.
Yep. We're also going to be doing some groups pretty soon. You're working on a female group, a woman's group, and I'm working on a men's group so that we can have... the men's group has kind of already started, even though we haven't started a payment thing yet. Like we've started talking about books and firearms and prepping and things like that, which I enjoy those conversations. But and I have people over there that are very qualified to help. I never thought that would happen. I'm very fucking blessed with what's going on over there right now. We are 2 hours and 30 minutes in. I would like to take like 5 questions.
All right,
5 easy questions, and then we're gonna call it. So if you guys have questions. Post them in the chat. Zeke can filter them through and screenshot them to me, and then we will answer those questions.
All right.
And then we're going to call it.
I am hungry.
We have another super chat from Headless Mistress, so we'll read that while he's looking for those. Opinion doesn't think going over there to smoke is to build a connection. Opinion doesn't think going over there to smoke is to build a connection. The connection's already built. If you are a friend with somebody, you already have a relationship with them.
Right. Is
you
this
have
a stranger
connection.
you're going over to get high with?
Right. I don't know. Yeah. Why would you do that? You know,
right. Is this
fucking risking that? Like,
is this a random person added on Facebook and like, hey, let's meet up Tuesday and smoke?
No. What are you, a cop? I don't know you.
Craigslist killer.
Get your fucking hand out my pocket. Zeke, $5 community cookbook coming soon from the Discord. Come see why Chris loves gravy and biscuits.
Oh yeah, I've added
Did you
some
post?
recipes.
You posted the gravy and biscuits one, right?
I did, yeah.
No mashed potatoes. Those are mine. I don't,
oh yeah, no, I'm not.
I don't
posting
want to
mashed
share that
potatoes.
with people.
I'm thinking about doing my chicken pot pie recipe
I'd be okay with that.
and then the pie recipe.
Yeah, I'd be okay with the apple pie one too, just because it's supposed to be a family recipe, and I don't have that. My Discord guys have become that. So, Lean sent a super chat. Where was she? UK also, right?
She is. Is it Bulgaria?
Thank you so much for all you.
Belgium. I think it's Belgium.
I think she meant to write share, but wrote C instead of S. Thank you for all you share. Our marriage is so much better with the advice and changes we have taken on. So thanks from Belgium.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah.
See, I remember you guys.
Yeah.
I have little folders. You guys are important.
She was super prevalent in the Discord for a while and kind of fell off a little bit. Like she was, when it was like a low number, she was very active. And then as we started to blow up, a lot of the old school people kind of fell back a little bit because it got overwhelming. Discord blew up fast.
It did.
Like,
Oh my
it
God,
went
we're
from like
almost
100
500
people to 500 people in less than a month.
Yeah.
And with that happening, we had to create a new members chat so that we can help people get in. There's a lot going on over there. And like, I've been hitting the head a lot. I have a very hard time keeping up with the main chat. It moves so fucking quick. There's been days where I've left, like I was in the chat editing and like kind of keeping up, and I would leave and come back like 3 hours later and there's like 1,000 messages.
Oh yeah.
And like there's tags, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to ever see that. Like, I'm not digging through 1,000 messages. So I found out, you told me that if I go on my phone, I can hit the notification. It'll show me, like it'll pull
All
me to
your
that
mentions.
point. Yeah. So I'm not missing things anymore, but I was missing a whole bunch of shit because I'm not digging through that.
So the way I handle Discord, I'm interrupting you, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
The way I handle Discord is I first log in and I look at all my mentions. And I always react to the mention. So I
So
see
know,
you.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll respond. After I go through all of my mentions, I go into the ball pit.
Yeah. And just bullshit.
I am just there. I am not going back and reading anything unless I'm tagged. Otherwise, I'm in the moment. I'm interacting with you guys. And sometimes I just go in there and disrupt.
Yeah, we do.
I halt whatever conversation is going on. You guys are paying attention, whatever stupid thing I just said.
It makes a little power trip there, huh?
I mean, that's how it is. If nobody interacts, I will post something. If no one says anything, I'm all right, dope.
Yeah.
My thought is out there. You guys can read it, enjoy it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's usually how it goes. I either jump in and I enter into whatever conversation they're doing, or I'm just popping in to post something funny, and you guys can interact, and we can have a back and forth, and that's my disruption, and I'm gone, and you guys are back to doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Kylie actually just subscribed to the YouTube. Mm-hmm. And the thing on there says exclusive live streams. So it's important for you guys also to know that if you sign up for the YouTube exclusive live streams, when we do the Patreon lives, you will get a link in the members only section of YouTube so that you can be a part of that. Those do correlate. He's sending questions as they come through. One of them I'm going to count as a bonus question, so we still need more questions. Somebody asked where you got your day caller from, and that is erosmoon, EROSMOON.com. That'll be the last time I ever answer that because I've answered it like 500 times on multiple platforms, and like everybody loves that day caller. It took me months to find the right caller. So, can trust, this is from Sonia Hopper. This is going to be the question number 1. Can trust be regained with your significant other once it's broke?
That's dependent on you.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that. Everybody has their requirements for their trust to be gained. And even if they meet those requirements, it is still up to you on whether or not that those requirements are enough for you to have that trust with them again. It depends on how foul they were to you.
Right. I believe the answer to that is ultimately yes. But the problem with that is that the ball is out of your court. Because if all amends are made over time will heal wounds. The scar will be there. You'll never forget what happened. But the trust can be regained if somebody is able to properly meet, like you said, the requirements that you have. So I believe the answer to that is yes, but I believe there's a lot of fucking work that goes into that, and most people aren't willing to do the work. And the person that broke the trust is normally not willing to eat crow long enough for the process to happen.
They expect the amends to be made faster than it actually takes.
Right. There's a book that's on our recommended reading list. I think it's called Trust Her, or...
No, it is Earning Her Trust or Earning Her Love.
Yeah. And it's about a husband who cheated on his wife, and it took him a decade to get their love back to normal. And after it was all said and done, a decade later, she told him that that last decade was the greatest thing that could have ever happened because they're so much closer and their life is so much better because he cheated. It just, sometimes it takes a long fucking time to work through shit. And if you're not willing to do that, don't try to regain each other's trust.
And, I bet there were times during that decade for her where she just wanted to walk away. And she was like, I can't handle this. I will never be able to trust him again.
Yep.
But she stuck through it because she loved that man. And she tried, and she recognized that he was putting in the work to gain her trust. So you have to put in that work to give that trust.
Yep. Excuse me. Any advice for people who travel for work? I'm a trucker and my wife is a stay-at-home with 2 kids. First of all, thank you for being a truck driver. I know that you guys don't get thanked very much, but my adopted dad is a truck driver. My brother's a truck driver. And I don't think people realize how important your fucking jobs are, because without having
they're the blood cells of the nation.
Yeah, our fucking country, our economy would collapse.
Yeah.
So any advice? I would FaceTime as much as possible.
FaceTime and send photos.
Yeah. Being away from the kids sucks. This is going to sound super shitty. Being away from the kids sucks because you're not there. Like, you're not present. but the time away from your partner sucks a whole lot more because the intimacy will eventually die.
Right.
Because you two are always away. It's no different than a long-term relationship. You are just going to have to find weird shit to make it work. If she's a stay-at-home, you guys can be on the phone a lot. And you may not always have shit to talk about. You guys can fucking get on the phone and listen to the podcast and pause the podcast and have conversations or watch it. You know, she could be watching a TV show dictating things to you, and you guys can pause and talk about that movie. Same thing. If you've been married for a long time, the hardest thing is finding new things to discuss that both keep your interest. And when you present something to your partner, it is a request for connection. Every time I see a car I'm like, babe, look at that car. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And we talk about that car for a minute. It gives us 5 minutes of new conversation that we would have otherwise not had because that external stimulus wasn't there. And when you recognize those requests for connections, and that's what your partner's doing by saying, hey, let's talk about this, whatever the thing is, it will help strengthen your bond. And if you're on the road and you're driving past cool shit, I just saw the giant fucking ball of yarn that everybody's talked about on TV for the last 40 years, you know? Well, what color was it? Was it freight? You know, you guys could have a 10-minute conversation about it. It's fucking stupid conversation, but it's stimuli that you would have otherwise not had. It will absolutely bring you closer together.
Yeah. In those moments when you point cards out to me, I always put my phone down.
Yeah. Yeah, that 1950 Caddy that we saw yesterday was probably the nicest one that I've pointed out so far.
It was so hot.
You know, it's funny to me because I have a respect for those older vehicles that when I see those like old Mercuries or the old Cadillacs or even the old Ford trucks, seeing that on the road is more impressive to me than seeing a Lamborghini.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I had the money to buy a Lamborghini or an old box truck, that old truck's going in my driveway, bitch. Believe that. Like, I will be that guy.
I want a baby blue one.
I want like a 1940s or 1950s truck with the big fucking white wall tires and the wood bed. Yep.
Oh, man. Baby blue on the truck body, but like the hood of it white.
Yeah. You like those two-tone cars, huh?
I really do.
I didn't notice that until yesterday. You were all about that tan color.
It was a tan top and like a very deep maroon on the bit. Yeah. Just does it for me.
Patreon. Julie Rocks. I love that she put the S on the last. Says, same Chris, the ball pit blows my mind sometimes. It's fucking hard to keep up in there, man. I'm not.
I don't even try.
We talk pretty smart, but I can't. I don't know how Zeke does it. Zeke and Jen are on that shit.
Oh my God.
I can't keep up.
I go through there. Zeke's in every damn chat.
He is constantly.
And he's keeping up with shit.
Kid's smarter than I am.
There are times where I'm in like one chat and I'm posting things thinking I'm in the ball pit and I'm like, oop, wrong chat, guys. Well, now you get to see it.
All right, this one's for you.
Oh, okay.
How can I deal with the guilt of staying at home and not making as much money as the husband to help with the bills? Do you have guilt that you don't make money?
No.
Good.
Because I recognize that what I do at home takes things off of your plate.
Well, it fucking does.
You don't have to worry about doing the dishes. You don't have to worry about making sure you have clean underwear. You don't have to worry about changing out the trash cans in the bathroom or where the toilet paper is.
I want to chime in, but I'm waiting till you're done.
Oh, okay. Just say your thing.
I don't think people realize how important that stay-at-home role is. For somebody that's as busy as we are and has the life that I have, you've removed a huge part of keeping me alive off my plate. So much so, this is really bad to admit, that I don't know where things go in our kitchen. If I had to cook dinner right now, it would take me a lot longer to cook dinner because I don't even know where the pots and pans are. I don't. We went to BJ's yesterday, and I had to follow you around the store like a puppy dog. I don't fucking know what we need here. I don't do any of that. I make the money and provide the food, and you cook it. So you tell me what you need. I make sure you have it, and we have a team system here. Your role in the home is vital to my existence. Your role as a mother is vital to our children. Anybody that wants to downplay that and play that, well, you're just a slave, you're a stay-at-home, they just want you pregnant and barefoot, have no fucking idea how big of a team, like how much that teamwork role is vital to having the house function the way that it does. That whole mindset, in my opinion, is to destroy what a home should look like to make people work.
Yeah.
The entire feminist narrative was created by a man to create more taxpayers. There's a whole thing about it. You can Google it. It's real. Like
right. This is going to 100% sound like an ego thing. I'm going to say it anyway. I'm one of the baddest bitches I know. My house is taken care of. My family's fed. My house is organized. My man is happy. My kids are going to grow up to be amazing people. I have my own self-interest. I have my self-care. I'm a priority to myself. Our love is unwavering. I know that our foundation is solid, and no matter what happens in life, you're going to be by my side.
Yep. And on top of all of that,
I have a successful podcast.
We are now creating a new business.
Yep.
We've created it.
It's going.
It's part of an LLC now.
Like,
We're doing the fucking thing. And on top of all of that, we're running other businesses and you're taking care of the house and doing this shit. You are a bad bitch. Like, and that, in my opinion, that is the label of a bad bitch. You want to be an independent worker and go do all that shit and not be a part of your kid's life. Like that's dope. You can do that. And that makes you a corporate badass, but it's a different level in my opinion. I think there's a title to being a good parent, a good mother, or a good father that supersedes being a badass. There's a lot more to brag about your kids growing up to be good fucking people and having a positive role model than you making $1 million. Because there's a lot of rich people that sends their kids to boarding schools and have fucking nannies that have no presence in their kids' life. You don't get to brag about all your money when your kids are a piece of shit. Like, yeah. All right, next question. How do you guys handle co-parenting? I have 3 stepdaughters, and I want us to all converse and get along for the kids, but their bio mom is showing actions of alienation. Ooh, that's a fucking problem.
you can't control someone else's actions. All you can do is be the example of what you want.
Do you want to talk about co-parenting a little bit, or you want to wait and do that for a side piece? Because that's super fucking important to me.
It is. I would like to do that for a side piece. That could be hours of conversation.
It could be. So we'll keep this quick then. Co-parenting is super fucking important.
It is.
Jay, dude's name was Jay. Having 3 stepdaughters, so you're the step parent in this. Did I read that right? I have 3 stepdaughters, and I want us to all converse and get along for the kids, but their bio mom is showing actions of alienation. I'm kind of confused on that. Anyways, so they're not your kids, and if you've stepped into that role of being a bonus parent, you have a responsibility to show them what it is to be a role model, and even if that means you being the bigger person and putting yourself out there and getting shit on repeatedly, those kids are going to see your behaviors. And as they become adults, will realize that the mother alienated the entire thing. And it's not a you problem, it's a her problem. And though that will suck as you're getting shit on over and over and over again, people do not want to have their hand slapped when they extend it to be shaken. You have to, it is your fucking duty to those children to show them how to be proper people. So in this scenario, I would say you just keep doing what you're doing, extend that olive branch as many times as you can until finally it's accepted. Until you guys can have Christmas together. That was one of the biggest goals that I have for our family. There was some, I said some mean shit. I said some mean shit to your ex. Part of it was stress. Part of it was a lack of information on my part, but all of it was regret. I truly regret being the way that I was towards him. We have a respect for each other now. It's a very different scenario. And I am really looking forward to Christmas this year. It's April.
Yeah.
I can't fucking wait for Christmas time because if
Coming from a man who hates holidays.
I do. But do you know how dope it will be for the kids to have both of you in the same house at an age where they can understand what the fuck is happening and have the bonus mom and have all the gifts in one place and not have to leave all the things that they just opened to go somewhere else and spend the day with a bunch of people that they didn't want to be around and watch other people open presents and not have their toys and then have dinner somewhere else. It's just a disruption. We don't have to do that. That sanctity of what a Christmas dinner is supposed to be, where everyone sits down and prays and has a good fucking dinner together.
Jasmine and I can cook together.
Dude,
in
I can't wait. I can't fucking wait.
Even
if that means that him and I are playing video games. And I suck at video games. He's gonna fucking own me and talk shit.
You have a whiskey collection.
Oh yeah. I can't do that. I can have a drink.
I was about to say just a drink.
Yeah.
You guys can have a drink and play video games, or
that would make video
he
games.
He loves
a little more
talking
enjoyable.
philosophy and psychology. You guys could have some good conversation.
And I look forward to that.
Yeah.
I do. I actually look forward to that. Anything else on that one?
No.
All right. How to deal with someone that procrastinates a lot. Sorry if the English isn't good there.
Well, who's procrastinating? Is it you or the person you're with?
Right. You don't deal with somebody that procrastinates. That's in them action.
Right.
If the procrastination that they're doing is a problem, you address the problem.
Yes.
I personally look at procrastination as a step to failure because procrastination leads to failure. I know that if you go, babe, I'm on my way out the door. Could you put water in the fridge when you get a minute? If I don't stop what I'm doing, that water's not going in the fridge. And I'm going to feel like an asshole later when you're like, there's no water in the fridge because I heard you and I forgot and I do it. It's happened. If you were like, garbage needs to go out and you're cooking and I stop what I'm doing and take the garbage out, I know that there'll be a bag in the garbage can quickly because you need the garbage. And when I come back in, it's done. And if I don't, I'm going to look over and the lid's going to be open on the garbage can and shit's going to be piled up. The bag's probably going to rip. There's going to be a mess that I got to clean. There are consequences for your actions. Discipline goes a long fucking way. You don't have to be motivated to do anything. You have to know there's going to be results and consequences for your actions. If you fucking put things off, you will fail. That's all there is to that. So if something needs to get done, you do it now. If you go to work and you have 8 hours at work and you can get everything done in 3 hours, you have 5 hours where you can kind of coast for the rest of the day. Or you can work on tomorrow's workload and get ahead. You can learn a lot. This is how you're going to gain success in life. It's the same thing at home. If you fucking do the things that need to be done now, you get to watch TV tonight with your woman or your man and have like movie night because you got everything done super fucking early and now you get to relax. You don't relax and then rush to get things done because you're living in a state of anxiety. If you do it right away, it's done.
And you're putting yourself in that state of anxiety.
Yep.
If you know pushing off a task right before the deadline gives you anxiety, that in itself should be, I don't want to feel that way. I need to do it now.
Right. Yeah, I don't do well with that. I never have. He said we're still hovering at like 235 to 240.
That's crazy.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That was 5 questions. You want to call it?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Get some food. Oh, we got a super chat.
Super chat.
Savannah Brock. First time being active. Thank you guys for giving me new perspective on how to be a better person for my partner. If you're ever in the Orlando area, stop by the Harley Davidson shop and say hello. So one, I am a Harley guy.
And we could be in Orlando.
We could be because it's only a couple hours from us. 2, I collect the Harley poker chips.
Okay. I want to start doing that.
I do. I have like 30 of them because every time I go somewhere, I make it a point to go and buy their little $2 fucking poker chip so that I can have a memory of where I've been. That is the closest thing to a collection that I have besides my whiskey. But it is more for the memory aspect of it because now I have something tangible. And if I ever want to have like a card holder for when I'm playing poker, I can just go get one of those Harley chips and throw it down. It's a gimmick. It is a fucking gimmick.
Yeah.
And Harley makes a stupid ton of money doing that because they have individual poker chips for all the stores. We have a P.O. box.
We do have a P.O. box.
I don't know what that P.O. box address is, but I'm pretty sure that Zeke could get it and put it into the chat. And if any of you guys would like to send me Harley poker chips, that would be kind of dope too. Send a nice little note on which Harley store it's from so that I can put it into a separate collection knowing that I didn't buy it from a memory. That would be kind of dope.
Yeah.
I'm so simple. It really is the simple things because those are cool.
Yeah.
I do want another motorcycle. Every time I think I want to buy a bike, though, we hear about somebody that we know or somebody that like we know that knows somebody else dying of a fucking accident in the area. And I just, the risk is not worth the reward.
I've been seeing updates on Facebook from somebody who went down a week ago and he's paralyzed.
Yeah. Well, you know, the guy that owns the company that did the floors at the shop broke his back and his neck in multiple places. And he was up walking around and going to jobs a couple days later. Like they like as soon as he could get out of the strap down bed thing, he was wheelchair doing shit. Like, oh, you can't keep old boy down. He's a fucking gangster when it comes to willpower. But I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Like the idea of being folded backwards and never being able to walk again, I would push my wheelchair into a swimming pool. Like I'm just not.
Yeah, you would be ending what we could have sooner.
Yeah. Yep.
And I wouldn't be able to forgive you for that.
Yep. I think about that shit. All right. That's 2 hours and 53 minutes. That's 3 hours.
All right.
That's going to get us a whole bunch of view time.
Yeah.
Hey, for all of you guys that were here, if it's your first time and you stayed this entire time, I really appreciate that. Like,
that is super dope.
That shit goes a long way for us. I really hope that you've subscribed.
I hope you gained something.
Value.
I hope you're able to walk away from this and say, damn, I need to process that.
Yeah. If you guys haven't yet, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that fun shit, just to help grow the channel. We really want to get to 100,000 by... Well, September. Yeah, I there's 2 days in September that I'm acceptable with, but if it happens before then, we get to do a victory dance.
Yeah.
I want to get like a high-end bottle and like have it as like my reward. I really just need to have like a reward system so I feel like I'm working for something with these numbers other than the YouTube button, because once we get the button, like it's now a million before we get to another button. But I really want one of those.
Yeah.
And I want to earn it. So
I think I'm going to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
When we hit 100,000.
I have an appointment with Jeff on the 10th of May to get my hand done, to have him fix the green man on my hand. Yep. You need to get your throat finished. Hey, if you guys don't follow Jeffrey Graham Tattoos, one word, on TikTok, he's trying to get to 1,000. He is one of my best friends, a badass tattoo artist, and somebody that we may create a podcast with soon. So go follow him.
That would be dope.
Follow us, follow him. Follow Peaches on TikTok. She's To Be Better Peaches.
Yes.
She's almost to 500,000.
I'm like 8,000 away from 500,000.
Yeah. She told me that if she hits 500,000, I'll get biscuits and gravies and mashed potatoes.
Support his dream, guys.
Yeah, please, please. I love biscuits and gravy. If you don't, I'll get a stuttering problem.
Stop it.
Jasmine just chimed in right as we were getting ready to sign off that says, I'm a little late, but did I hear something about me and Peaches cooking together?
Yes, Christmas dinner.
Yep. We have.
Which, if you guys are down for it,
Yeah.
of course. But I would love that.
Yeah.
To be able to cook Christmas dinner with her and be able to serve the family.
Yep.
That'd be dope. Well, can't wait to talk to you guys in Discord after this and get your opinions.
Yeah. We're going to take a break, eat some lunch, and then we're going to record.
Yeah.
Because we
are behind.
We are way behind. But you know what? We're catching up.
We are.
We are definitely catching up. And this was fun.
This was fun.
This
I enjoyed this.
The second most entertaining live stream that we've done.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.